circulations. I don't know if you've ever seen, I think it's called Eraserhead or Metalhead, the Black Mirror episode.
I think that one's Metalhead. Eraserhead's the David Lynch
David
movie.
Lynch movie, yeah. Metalhead. But I saw some of these robotics over the weekend where the ability to climb mountains, and I'm telling you where we're going with this.
What if it was wearing a Stafford jersey?
I'd be different. Let's
It's a
paint
ram.
it. Let's
It does
get
have
it
a little bit of a ram look to
blue
it.
and yellow.
Let's get it the
I just the goat head is why it puts it over. I mean, like if it didn't have a goat head, it'd still be kind of weird. But you're just trying to make it look demonic.
But if you bought that and it was painted blue and yellow, had it painted blue and yellow, and they lost the first week and Stafford got hurt, you would just assume you were possessed.
Yeah,
burn it.
gone.
Burn it.
I'll tell you, we got Maddie some of these couple of rings in New Orleans. Now one just got resized, but since she put that ring on, been bad luck.
Well, it's in New Orleans, man. I mean, that voodoo down in the corner.
Yep. And the guy that sold it to us told us it was a voodoo ring, but he just called it that. But it's in the shape of a snake.
It was a voodoo ring.
No, but I mean,
You
it was
paid
like he just said that they're called voodoo rings, but there's no voodoo attached.
Yeah,
to
don't read anything into that.
It's not like it's shaped like a snake.
We just
It
call
is.
it a cursed ring.
Yes.
It has no curses
That's
attached to
But
it.
Brown, you don't believe in this stuff, do you?
I mean, I do believe the devil's got a foothold, man. So there's some devil in there. There's some devil in the world. I'm not saying in that ring. I'm just saying
all of
there's.
the issues with Chili occurred since buying the ring.
Oh, God, no.
I mean,
way before we knew Chili. Issues were
But
taking
the
place.
engine blew up.
Oh
after the ring.
yeah. A lot of damage to the car. A couple of other weird things. But I told her, let's just push through. Let's see one more bad incident, and then we'll
May
scrap
I
the ring.
ask, is there a large amount invested in this ring?
No.
So it's a very cheap.
Yeah,
If you just
yeah.
toss it, you've lost nothing.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think I'd wait for the one more. Let's just see
The
one
one
more.
more might be the last one.
costume
I
jewelry.
mean, the devil might have just been in the devil might have been warming up the bullpen. That next one could be his first pitch. I mean,
I sent a rowboat.
that's right.
That is Trash Today. Brought to you by our friends at Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And the final hour always brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, champyschicken.com. Hope you guys are looking forward to football season as much as we are. You can get great tailgating food there at Champy's, but it's a destination lunch location where you can get by there and enjoy the wonderful fried chicken that is brined overnight and cooked to order, juicy to the bone, and all the great stuff they have at Champy's Chicken. Go by and say hi to Sterling and the guys. All right, that's our show today. Don't forget the next reel, a Brown watch party of Jurassic Park, his reaction, and the guys talking through the movie. That scene you see right there is available now. The next reel on our platform. Go check it out. And the OG kickoff and so much more. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
When you trust a doctor with your life, they owe you proper care. If medical negligence left you or a loved one injured, you deserve answers and compensation. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys have recovered over $2 billion for their clients harmed by medical errors, misdiagnoses, and surgical mistakes. They fight hospitals and insurance companies so you can focus on healing. Don't wait. Medical malpractice cases have strict deadlines in Alabama. Call Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. You pay nothing unless they win. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, we got Clay on the show in an hour. We'll talk to Clay about his latest venture into the WNBA and trying to get a high school pickup game for $10 million on the line. Typical Clay. We'll talk to him coming up in an hour. It should be a lot of fun. Also on the show, college football as we get closer and closer to number one in our 40 and 40. Remember, August the 17th, so a little over a week and a half away from getting to the AP Top 25. We'll get to number 19 in our countdown. But we got to start with developing news in the NFL today because two running backs, one of them former Alabama running back Jahmyr Gibbs, and the other is former Texas running back Bijan Robinson, were doing camp hold-ins where you show up to camp, but you don't do anything when you get to camp. Well, Bijan Robinson's ready to do some stuff. He got a big contract today. He's reset the market. It's Saquon money plus, and it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, 3-year extension, $75 million. It's going to average out to $22.2 million, which is slightly above the $20.6 that Saquon was getting. Gibbs is going to fall right in line. I mean, with what Bijan, probably 3 years, $80 million just to top it. I mean, both of those guys, you can ask anybody in the league right now, as good as Saquon was 2 years ago, en route to breaking an NFL record and, and winning a Super Bowl. I mean, everybody to a man is like, it's Bijan, it's Jahmyr Gibbs, that's it, 1 and 2, as simple as that. So I think this does put pressure on Detroit to get this deal done because I think it's 6 straight days Gibbs has been a hold-in.
Yeah. Now, he's being very cordial about it, doing interviews, and Dan Campbell at Lions camp is talking to the media, Brownie, but he's scheduled, Jahmyr Gibbs is, with 2 years left on his contract, to make $5.7 million this year. $5.7 million or $25 million, which would you choose?
I would take the $25 million. I mean, look, Atlanta's in such an interesting situation because right now, do you believe Atlanta's got the quarterback of their future? Do you think, well, hang on, let me back up. Do you believe Atlanta believes they've got the quarterback of their future?
I do not.
What's the future? I mean,
the future is, I would say, the next decade. I mean, you just drafted Michael Penix 2 years ago. The least you expect out of a.
I think Lance will agree with me on this. In the NFL, you cannot go by decades. I don't even think you can go by 5 years.
I think you can when you.
Oh, I think quarterbacks should go by decade.
Quarterback.
Yeah,
well, I don't think the Rams went for a decade when they brought in Stafford. It's worked out really well.
Oh no, I think that's a little different.
Yeah, but they didn't draft him.
When Stafford came in March of 21, I think the expectation immediately was this is all McVay needs to win a Super Bowl, and he ultimately did.
Well, aren't we saying sort of the same thing about the Falcons?
No, because they drafted.
They didn't draft Tua. If Tua just comes in and is good for 3 years and they're a playoff team for 3 years, they have a chance then at that point.
Yeah, I don't think anybody thinks Tua can win a Super Bowl. I think it feels completely different. I mean, Stafford, they were giving up first-round draft picks. I mean, it was a massive deal. I mean, basically, Tua is playing on Miami's money. It's a $1 million contract.
Right. And that was going to be my point is I don't think they believe they have the quarterback of the future.
Well, it's Kevin Stefanski and the guy that really chose these guys.
That's right. So I think Atlanta in the back of their mind is thinking, I'm going to have to draft quarterback again in the near future or trade for one like the Rams did. You never get quality quarterbacks on free agency. They just don't hit free agency. I mean, high-quality quarterbacks don't hit free agency. So I think Atlanta probably in the back of their mind knows we're going to have to address quarterback again sometime in the near future. So let's lock down the core while we've got that money because we've got a rookie contract quarterback and our other quarterback that could start our season for us. The Miami Dolphins are paying to play for us. So now's the best time ever if you're the Falcons to pay a running back money because you actually have it.
Now, this is supposed to be a deep quarterback draft coming up in 2027. We would have said this last year about the quarterback draft in 2026. It completely fell apart with guys like Carson Beck and Garrett Nussmeier and Cade Klubnik just completely falling apart, not having the years a lot of people believe they would have. With that said, the scary thing about the Falcons is it seems like they've got a roster to win 8, 9, 10 games for the next 3, 4, 5 years.
That's my point.
They're going to be middle of the pack.
That's my point.
But that's not having your quarterback. So, I don't know how you go out and get it because it really is difficult to be able to make those Matt Stafford trades.
And to me, when you lock in Bijan and you've already locked in Kyle Pitts this offseason.
And Drake London.
That's
your three best players, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So you can't get into good drafting, especially in the NFC South. You can't get to good. I mean, bad teams finish 8 and 9 in that division.
Yep.
You can't get into a good quarterback drafting position unless you make a trade. So I think they're saddling up and they're going with the two quarterbacks they got, and they're going to try to win with this core. So that's why I think Bijan's a good investment.
Yeah, I think it's a great investment. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I think you probably realistically look at it and say you can spend this money now because you're going to have a quarterback on a rookie contract for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have Penix on a rookie contract and you're going to have to make a decision on him. And even if, unless Penix just absolutely tears it up. So he's in year 3. So they'll have to make that decision at the end of year 4.
Yep.
So unless he absolutely tears it up for 2 years for the Falcons, he's not going to be a high-end free agency guy. Like, you're not going to have to pay him a ton to marry him. So I actually think, you're in a decent spot if you're the Falcons because you either you cut him and you move on, you release him, you move on, and you draft a new quarterback, or you're probably going to be able to pay him a decent amount. But then the other part of that is you got a middle-of-the-pack NFL quarterback, which is not really where you want to be.
But you do have one of the two best running backs, and you can make an argument, 2 of the best 5-10 players in the league when you talk about Bijan and as good as he is. And, both Bijan, once Gibbs gets his deal, they're going to be so different. Now, Saquon is right there with $20.6 million per year, but you're just not going to have other running backs that are going to get paid like this. These guys are so different. I remember going to see the Rams on Monday night in Atlanta, and Bijan went 195 on the Rams.
You guys, yeah.
And I think you guys would agree the Rams, if they weren't the best team, they were definitely the second best team in the NFL last year, and he went 199 yards a carry against the Rams.
I know. I'll never forget.
That's how good that guy is.
Yeah, but it helps out that he can also catch the ball out of the backfield. That gives them, with Gibbs too, they're 2,000. They're basically close to 2,000 yards from scrimmage kind of guys.
Yeah.
So you can be 1,000-yard rusher, 1,000-yard receiver.
Yeah,
they're
but
that good.
You pick your poison. I think the Rams and Chris Shula tried to do his best to make sure that Bijan didn't beat him out of the backfield. They limited him to 8 yards receiving, but he goes 195 on the ground. He can do it any and everywhere.
That's right. That's why I think
he zigs and he zags and he's almost impossible to touch.
And for the Lions, you guys were trying to. I said the Falcons' window is open right now. Why you do this and you jump in with 2 in them, and you just try to win with the other 21 and manage at the quarterback position. The Lions have a couple of years left with Jared Goff. Their window is now, and you got to pay Gibbs and go try to win it now, right?
Oh, yeah. If you're the Lions, just 3 years removed from an NFC championship game. You look at what you've got. Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the best receivers out there. Jared Goff's a top 10 quarterback. Aiden Hutchinson's a top 5 edge guy. TJ Hawkinson is one of the better tight ends in the league. One of the best take the top off the defense, and Jamison Williams. You've got weapons all over the field in Detroit.
So probably can keep that group together for 2 years.
Yeah, and I do think Detroit might be the most improved team in the NFL this year. There's a possibility.
You keep that group together as long as Goff continues to play, which I don't know how much longer you guys think Goff continues to play. Feels like he's been in the league. It probably feels like he's been in the league longer than he has.
He got drafted in May of 2016.
So he's finishing decade 1.
Yeah.
So, realistically, you've got 2 to 5 years of him left?
Depends. If you think most of these quarterbacks play to 40 if they want to now, then you've got 7 years left.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like this is what you had to do with the Falcons and with Tua and Penix as they start their heated quarterback battle. Maybe they can manage the position and make a championship run, at least a playoff run. And for the Lions, while the window's open, go pay Gibbs, and they could get that deal done at some point today, as LT said, immediately sitting there on the horizon.
Yeah, it's almost a blueprint. If you're Detroit, you really don't want to piss Gibbs off, as you said, still doing interviews. He's still around his teammates. Now he sees this deal is given. What the numbers are going to be. Go on and give it to him. Why wait?
Isn't it funny?
Be a snippet above.
Yeah.
He'll want to be the highest paid now.
Yeah. Isn't it funny, though, how we have flipped on running back money? It was not too long ago that you're like, boy, you just don't pay any running backs.
But these are the only 2 you ever will.
Derrick Henry's getting paid a little bit, and he's still deservedly so. Saquon's getting paid
I think
much.
Derrick is like $16 million, and then Saquon's $20. But
20. These are the only two left in the game, is what you're saying that you would give it to?
I'll bring it back to the Rams. Kyron Williams, when you look at just yards from scrimmage, total touchdowns, he's in the top 5 in both over the last 3 years, and he's not even close to these guys.
I thought you told me the other day Derrick Henry was making $4 million a year the last couple of years.
I don't think so.
I think that might have been the cap hit.
Yeah, maybe the cap hit. Okay.
I will say this, though. Miami completely tore down. For some reason, went and got a free agent quarterback, the top free agent quarterback. I still don't understand that move. But the one guy they kept was Devin Achane. I mean, and he's been really, really good for Miami. Now, I don't know if it was just because it was in Mike McDaniel's system and he was a perfect fit for that system. We'll see if he can continue that. But he's got blazing speed. So, I mean, I do feel like we're living in a little bit of the resurgence of the running back, the single running back. Like, for a minute, it looked like the NFL was going to go, hey, running back by committee, we're fine with that. But I feel like the running back position's resurging just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are so unique. Derrick Henry's cap hit is 5.5 this year. He's making a little more than Taysom Money at $11 million is the total value.
Okay.
All right. So that's some NFL news. Before we jump into some college football, one more NFL note. Bryce Young is in the final season of his rookie deal, team option next year. They got to make a call on him pretty soon. And apparently, as camp was opening up there in Carolina, their vice president and general manager and all them doing news conferences were sort of avoiding answering a question about Bryce Young. That's becoming a tough decision for that organization, right?
I think it is. And Dave Canales is a guy that works well with quarterbacks, and I think ultimately it's going to be his decision. Can you win a championship with this guy? I saw Bryce Young in not great conditions in the playoffs last year in that first round, and he made hell of good throws. I mean, like Bryce Young, to me, if he can stay upright with how small he is, his stature, he's getting better and better.
He is, but let me ask you guys this question. If Matt Stafford announced his retirement and Baker Mayfield announced his retirement, and you're going to get a free agent quarterback and Bryce Young is on the market, do you want Bryce Young?
I would rather have Bryce Young.
Right
now than Baker Mayfield.
No. That's not your choice. I'm just saying if Stafford retired and Mayfield retired, you guys are both without a quarterback. Bryce Young is on the free agent market. Would that excite you?
I'll just tell you right now, Kevin.
Getting Malik Willis instead? I mean, I'd rather have Bryce Young.
Just saying.
But am I excited about my future? Do I think Bryce Young can win a championship?
That's my question.
I don't look at him as I do when Tom Brady came to Tampa. No.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, Bryce Young couldn't win one at Alabama, right?
It wasn't his fault.
It was not his fault. But, I mean, I kind of joke when I say that. If Kevin Stefanski back to Atlanta had Bryce Young, I think that and Forster's back there shaking his head.
He just said it in the chat, give me Bryce this year.
Yeah, I think people would be optimistic about in the next 3 to 5 years.
Absolutely,
Atlanta is Super Bowl ready.
Definitely an upgrade over anything they got right
now.
No,
you're right about that. He's an upgrade, and he's the best quarterback in that division. Right now, I guess, would you say he's better than Baker, right?
I mean, I think Baker's had better the last few years. Baker's been better. Yeah. But, I mean, if you're just looking for the next 5 years, I would say he's the guy.
But I do think, Jim, Bryce Young falls into that category. I always talk about we never want to be in the NFL. He's in that, 10 to 15 category. And it's good enough. Tua was there. My team married Tua. And I don't feel like you can win the Super Bowl with that guy, but it's also hard to get rid of a guy that's top 15 in the league, that's top half in the league.
The show today being brought to you by a friend, Alexander Shunnarah, Trial Attorneys. Before Brownie tells you about Shunnarah, in the next segment 2 here of our opening hour, some amazing numbers in college football from our buddy Chris Lowe at On3 Sports. I'm going to go through some of the highlights of this amazing story and get the reaction from these guys on what really is just some jaw-dropping stats from the last 5 years about certain college football programs and coaches. It was the most entertaining article I've read probably this whole off season. And it's just some stat-based stuff, but it's just really interesting. That's our next segment. A couple more things to get to in our opening segment. Alexander Shunnarah standing by.
Yeah, Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Alexander Shunnarah is our guy, and if you are in need of any legal assistance, he is your guy too. It's not just personal injury work. He does a tremendous amount of that, obviously, but it is fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, workers' compensation, employment issues. The list goes on and on and on with Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys, and you don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com, that is the place to go when you need any legal assistance. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case with Alexander Shunnarah, Shunnarah.com.
All right, and it's time to go racing again at Talladega. We get ready for the playoffs coming to town on Sunday, October 25th. You can get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Don't forget to upgrade your ticket with those Talladega Garage Experience tickets. The most immersive garage experience in NASCAR. You get access to the garage bay viewing area, pre-race ceremonies, the driver crew chief question and answer sessions, and the Victory Lane trophy photos, and so much more. It's all part of your Talladega ticket with that garage experience. Get more details online and buy your tickets at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Tonight's the night. You get to see Tarek Skubal on the hill for the Dodgers against the Cubs, 7 o'clock on TBS tonight from Wrigley. Cool thing about this is, of all the other teams not named the Dodgers who got Skubal, the Cubs probably improved their pitching staff the most. Now, their new guys, Gausman and Clay Holmes, will not pitch tonight, but the Cubs maybe did enough to chase down the Brewers in that division. But when we get to the postseason, they may have put together a pitching staff that could sit there and at least be competitive in a series against the Dodgers. The Cubs made some pretty good moves, and we get to see those two teams tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you look at run differential. I mean, they're fourth right now in the National League. The Cubs right now had the fourth best record as well. And Dodgers have lost 5 games going into this. I heard our buddy Buster talking about the addition of Clay Holmes and Kevin Gausman. He's like, I do think the biggest threat right now in the National League to the Dodgers is the Chicago Cubs and what they went out and acquired, because those guys in a postseason series could be your frontline 1 and 2 guys. So, I mean, I don't think that's going to scare the Dodgers, but like in a 7-game series, Toronto was really, really close last year. You know, they were an inning away from winning that game and winning that series.
I'll play at the plate.
Yeah, so like I think everything is in play, and I think the Cubs definitely got better at the break or after the break, I should say. Dodgers got to snap out of this funk. It's going to be interesting because Skubal minus 205 on the road tonight with 5 consecutive losses for the Dodgers.
If you had to bet your hard-earned American dollars on the
real quickly, can you explain that to the average American?
Oh, like if you're putting, you got to put $200 up or $205 up to win $100.
Okay, so I mean, heavy favorite.
Yeah, they're a heavy favorite. Yeah.
Okay, would it influence
especially for a road favorite?
Here we go.
Against the Cubs.
Would it influence your betting knowing that Skubal's on my fantasy baseball team?
I mean, it should influence everybody's. Right?
Do you have him on the bench?
No. My fantasy baseball team: Blake Snell, Skubal, Clay Holmes.
So Snell has been banged up all year.
No, it's riddled with injuries. Clay Holmes,
it's a match shooter.
Clay Holmes had a fractured, brain. I don't know what he's been on the IL. But Skubal out there, he's been hurt for a while. He's come back.
So is it important if Skubal performs for you tonight, or does it matter?
Oh, I mean, I'm in the hunt for a playoff spot. It matters.
Yeah, we need an outing.
Yeah.
Do you, if you had to bet your hard-earned American dollars on an NLCS right now, it's going to be the Dodgers, but the Dodgers and who?
I think I would still go the Brewers
over the Cubs.
Yeah, I know.
Over the Cubs. Is that your kind of?
Yeah.
Would you do the same?
I like the Brewers, and they were in the mix for Skubal. If they had gotten Skubal, I would think the Brewers could win the whole thing. And
there are many people, as I mentioned, one of my golf buddies brought it up to me that they felt like the Dodgers were playing keep away from Milwaukee. Anybody would take Skubal, but did the Dodgers really need Skubal? No.
Yeah, I mean,
but they also did not need Milwaukee getting Skubal.
Yeah, if we're going to put this into college football terms, Milwaukee's kind of been Oregon light.
Yeah.
I mean, Milwaukee's been good for the last 15 years, here and there.
But they have what to show for it.
Yeah, they got nothing.
Okay, so here's my question off this Dodger pitching staff here in 2026. And you've seen it now. You know them all. But most people still rank ahead of the 2026 Dodgers, at least most people, the baseball analysts I was seeing this morning, still says the 1998 Braves pitching staff slightly better than the 2026 Dodgers pitching staff.
Well, I mean, I think it's maybe easier to say when you look at Maddox, Smoltz, Glavine.
I've seen the completed
Hall of Famers. We've seen the entire thing. Skubal, I mean, look, back-to-back Cy Youngs, that's great, but there's still a lot of career left.
It's going
Yamamoto, I mean, he had days over, in Japan playing. He's been really good, but not even close to those guys. Ohtani, I mean, Otani's Otani.
Yeah, who were the 4th and 5th starters for the Braves
Snell,
that year?
then was Nagel.
Denny Nagel?
Yeah.
Okay, he was a big free agent acquisition from Colorado, if memory serves.
Yeah, but Blake Snell's a guy that's won a Cy Young.
Yeah.
Blake Snell has won a World Series. Tyler Glasnow has won a World Series. He started for multiple teams in a World Series.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
the 4 and 5s are much better.
Top end, I would go Braves. I mean, that's 3 Hall of Famers, 3 of the best that have ever done it, and maybe those other guys will approach that.
Yeah,
but
I think Otani's right there with Glavine.
Yeah.
I think you're 1-2. I would definitely take Maddox and Smoltz over Skubal and Yamamoto.
Yeah, I think 4th and 5th for the Dodgers are what might push them over the edge on this.
Yeah, and you don't even want to go line up.
No, that's not close.
I mean, that's probably what kept.
That's more Yankees. You know, the last 3 Pete. When you look at what the Yankees had, I think that's more fair to go Yankees Dodgers.
So interesting guy.
By the way, 10 of the top 100 players in baseball now. After they went out and they acquired Skubal, they have 10 position players / pitchers of the top 100 as voted by Major League Baseball.
Hey, when we don't have baseball to talk about in this segment next year, I hope you're happy. Because it's going to be the Dodgers' fault.
Hey,
we don't talk a lot of baseball anyway. But
Buster was asked that this morning, like, is this the Dodgers' fault? And he's like, no. And he was like, I was hanging around in Philadelphia for the All-Star game and talking to everybody there, and they find it like they think the Dodgers are great, but they're beatable. It's a challenge.
No,
and it's not the Dodgers' fault they're in this situation.
It's MLB's fault.
Right.
I mean, the Dodgers they're playing the system MLB allows them to play.
This is Texas Tech.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's MLB's fault. Yeah.
It's nobody's fault, but it is better for baseball. For baseball, not for the players, but it's better for baseball if they get a salary cap.
Yes, just ask the NFL.
Yeah, but again,
that's right. They also need to have a minimum spending as well.
Yeah, because
I agree.
I don't think it's good for baseball if the Dodgers win it this year. And by the way, plus 160 to win it, shortest price I said this yesterday, shortest price I've seen since maybe the '99 Yankees. But if they win this 4 and 6 in Major League Baseball, I mean, we got so much parity right now in the NFL, in college football, in college basketball, the NBA, 7 straight different NBA champions, and Major League Baseball, one of the most unpredictable 7-game series sports, has become predictable.
Yeah, but to your point, and you know, I grew up through the dynasty eras in sports in the 70s and 80s. There were dynasties, and because you really couldn't move around. The free agency isn't like it is now, that you could move around, but it just didn't happen as much. And the dynasties were good for me because it allowed me to cheer against them. And last year I found myself hoping the Blue Jays are winning. It was so close. In series, it makes it more interesting television if you're not a Dodgers fan to cheer against them. So there is some value in having a team so good that it can unite society to cheer against them.
You need a villain.
But then the problem becomes, let's just say the best team in the AL record-wise, your Rays end up playing the Dodgers, and the Dodgers win in 5.
Yeah.
Then you're just like, damn.
Yeah. We went through that with Super Bowls for a period of time too, where
NFC was so much better than the
NFC
AFC.
was so good.
In the 80s, it was the Super Bowls were terrible too. I mean, they were blowouts.
I mean, you had so many great NFC games, and then the playoffs in the NFC.
Yeah,
and then you got to the Super Bowl.
Smoke the AFC. Yeah, it was a terrible game.
Yeah,
so I hope it's a 42-point Super Bowl this year. Super Bowl.
All right, one college football note to get to. After we tell you about our friends at JohnstonRVCenter.com.
I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 Indicator is where you find our buddies at Johnston RV Center. And you can always find them online, JohnstonRVCenter.com. And when you go online there, you can shop their inventory from big to small. They've got something in every size for every customer. You can shop by price range, low to high. They got something in every price range for every customer. And also, you can have peace of mind in knowing they stand behind their product forever. RV Warranty Forever gives you a lifetime warranty on anything that is new or qualifying pre-owned with our friends from Johnston RV Center. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 Indicator, and always online at JohnstonRVCenter.com.
All right, Alex Golish of Auburn takes the podium today at 11 a.m. Central Time, 12 Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, as Auburn's opening up camp. Alabama doing it tomorrow as we do camp season. We'll talk later on in the show each person's biggest question about Auburn and Alabama camp, what's most interesting to them. But yesterday during the show, we got the USC-Notre Dame rivalry back starting in 2030. They'll play the opening game in 30 and 31 and then play early in the season on 32 and 33. That came down during the show yesterday. The door was open for them to do that because Indiana canceled their series with Notre Dame in 30 and 31, and that's what opened the door for USC and Notre Dame to get back on the schedule. And here's the problem with, and it has always been a problem in college football, but here's the problem with this Big Ten and SEC debate. And this is the problem with college football and the way we award playoff spots and the way we judge teams. Indiana, with their out-of-conference schedule that Joel Klatt, when he comes on here, will make fun of Week 13 in the SEC, or he'll talk about this or that about the SEC. It's embarrassing what Indiana is doing out of conference. Here's their future schedule now that they have moved Notre Dame off of their schedule.
By the way, I told you they would do this.
You did. You said it last week. First thing I thought of.
I said, Notre Dame really can't because they have.
Yep.
I mean,
They
they
gotta
build
have
their
12
schedule,
games,
but
yeah.
they've got to have the 12 games. Indiana, knowing they're going
That's
to
right.
play 9 conference Big Ten games, and we can laugh at this all you want, but if I'm Signetti, I'm not playing them.
No, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
It is.
You should at least have one. It's a disgrace, and it is. Let's see. It's not being a good custodian of the sport. If you're supposed to be the best coach in college football, then you should at least go out and play one. All we're asking is for one meaningful out-of-conference game.
But what does it do for him?
Well,
It does it for the fan base. It does
good
nothing
for the
him.
game. It's good for the game to do it.
It is good for the game.
Nick Saban came into Tuscaloosa and scheduled. They were one-off games, and there were so many of them that people started to bitch about. We're not playing them home and home. Let's play home and home. But he did it to make Alabama's schedule better.
And he did it for recruiting.
And for recruiting and
there
all
was
that.
a strategy, and it was a different game back then.
For those that are listening, give me that schedule again so I can read it.
It is a joke, but I mean,
North
that's exactly
Texas-
how I would do it.
North Texas, Howard, and Western Kentucky. Well, I would expect
3-0.
it. I would expect if you were the best coach in college football that you would care more about the sport and not just individually Indiana.
Nobody does.
That's
though.
Pollyanna.
Kennesaw
These guys-
State,
yeah.
Indiana State, UMass in 2027. Austin P, Eastern Michigan, Miami of Ohio in 2028. Ball State, Eastern Illinois, Western Kentucky in 2029. 2030, they do have an open date now because they have not scheduled to fill the Notre Dame gap, even though I thought they did yesterday with some low-ranked team.
I'm sure it was no team I've heard
Indiana
of.
State, Delaware, we'll just put in Missouri State there. 2032, they've got UConn on there. We'll just throw in UMass and let's give Eastern Illinois
Liberty.
another slice of the pie.
So they're at least going on the road to UConn.
I mean, that is – I mean, I half joke, but Lance, are you serious that you don't think that if I'm the best coach in college football with 12, soon to be 24 spots open, that I can't go play one meaningful game
You could.
out of conference
but-
and risk losing that one game and still not be, as the best coach in college football, good enough to come back and make a playoff with 12 teams?
I mean, you could. And look, and I do think, and this example might not be good, but I go back to Sarkisian because he's not even close to the coach that Signetti is. But if he wouldn't have scheduled Ohio State last year, they're in a college football playoff. And once they get there, they could have won the whole thing.
Yeah, Lance is right. The sport has not incentivized playing these schedules. They have not.
That's the thing. Why?
And there's so many reasons why that's the case.
This is like you, for the good of the game, for the good of the digital space, would you take some kind of sacrifice for nothing?
Well, I think I do all the time.
I don't think you do.
I think I do it all the time.
I think everybody is self-serving.
Yeah, I mean.
And look, he wants to win championships, and he wants to do what's best for his program. And what's best for his program is not playing these big, high-profile out-of-conference games.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I would like to think in a perfect world, the quote-unquote best coach in college football would say, I want the best for the game, so I'll play this game. But that's not the way coaches operate. Coaches operate, they all look out for number one. Number one is them, and they're going to do what's best for them. And what's best for Sig is winning a bunch of games, and that's why he's going to play this. Now, here's what's going to happen. There are two things that are going to happen for this. Number one, their fan base is eventually going to get tired of this. They are. I mean, the winning is fun right now. You're winning championships, but at some point, At some point, they're going to quit showing up to watch you play Eastern Illinois.
Well, maybe, but I mean,
No,
I think
they
it's
will. 100%
funny
they will.
that guys like Jim are picking apart Indiana football now because of their schedule.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you want to come and play with the best, Ohio
they
State
already
is,
have, though.
Ohio
They've already proved
State
it. They're
is-
16-0.
Ohio State's in the same league as them, and they have no problem
That's right,
going
but-
out. We're going to play Texas. We're going to play.
They're really. I mean, Ohio State's been doing it for a century.
Yeah, but they're the only ones still doing this in that league, and that was going to be my other point. The Big Ten coaches are probably not going to be around to regret this, but their schools will eventually regret this. They will. Their schools will regret this strategy because at some point the Big Ten's got to go back to the table with primarily Fox. This is who this hurts the most, but also NBC and CBS, and say we need more money. And Fox and NBC and CBS, I hope, tell them we're not giving you another dime. You guys are playing Ball State and Northern Illinois, and we're having to show this crap.
Yeah, but they're not really worried about that. Big Ten Network, we've got our crutch there. We can show these 3 shitty games all the time on the Big Ten Network.
No, Lance, the whole schedule's that way. The whole first 3 weeks are awful.
You're talking about for the entire Big Ten.
Yes, I'm talking about for the entire Big Ten. I'm not talking just Indiana.
Well,
Now,
you know what the Big
Cignetti's-
Ten will do? They'll reschedule and you'll plant those games different spots. In
But Cignetti is not going to be around to see this, so he can play it and not worry about the future contract negotiations. But it will hurt the Big Ten in the long run because if I'm Fox, I am furious at the Big Ten right now. I've given you all this money for all these games, and what do I get to show to start the season? Nothing.
But it's
Because
not
your
just the
teams-
Big Ten doing this. The majority of
You're
Power
right.
Power Fours are doing this
You're
right
absolutely right.
Like, how many teams are sticking with it? Georgia's sticking with it. Good for them.
Yeah, Alabama's playing Ohio State.
They are,
They
but
had an
they're-
option to opt out of that one.
But they
Yeah,
are-
I mean, but it's few and far between.
Well, I think every SEC has a mandated game,
So does the ACC.
and the
yeah,
ACC
but we're getting.
does.
But you would have to admit, Lance is right. We're getting fewer and fewer of these games.
I mean, we're getting cancellations
I read
all the time.
cancellations almost every
All
week.
because of people like Indiana.
Well, I don't care who it's because of. It happens all over college football. Now, Indiana just happens to be the best product in the game right now, remarkably.
Didn't LSU just cancel some?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, everybody does it. Everybody cancels.
Those cancellations were so if you go back a few years ago, teams were starting to double up on these Power 4 games. Like, so Alabama, last year had Wisconsin and Florida State. That's what's going away now that the SEC is moving to a 9-game SEC schedule. They had scheduled all these games in advance because they thought the CFP was moving towards a strength of schedule metric. So they were going to
I get that, but
so
the
they-
SEC had 2 of these games. They've dropped one.
They all
The
have-
Big Ten had 1 of these games. They dropped that.
Well, the SEC dropped one because they added a 9th conference game, and none of those coaches were going to keep 2 big games.
they
with
had a
ninth
ninth conference
Yeah.
game because people
But-
like Klatt and the Big Ten folks were like, "Hey, you guys play 8 conference games.
Well, maybe
Y'all
the
need to play
SEC
9
should do it
conference
like. I mean, the
games."
best conference is the Big Ten. Maybe you should model and do it like they're doing it right
No, it's bad for us. I don't want to watch this crap.
No,
It's bad
you
for
wanna
us,
watch
but
it?
it's not bad for Indiana.
It's bad for me as a consumer.
Yeah,
for a guy
of
who
course.
who consumes the sport. You love the NFL. Why? Because there's 32 teams and the parity of a Sunday. Right? I don't want to sit here on a Saturday, and my Saturday on Fox and the first opening weekend is North Texas at Indiana. That's Fox's game. That's the one they chose
but-
because that's the best game on the Big Ten.
But I don't.
North Texas.
Nobody's
at
arguing.
Indiana.
Nobody's arguing with you. on
Yeah,
this.
I would rather watch good
Yeah.
games too. But I'm just saying,
We're
if I
just-
was in Kirk Cignetti's spot or if
Yeah.
I was in Dan Lanning's spot, I wouldn't schedule
Kirk
those games.
Cignetti
Does
does
it
not
not-
care what you think.
Does it not hurt his legacy a little bit?
No.
Eventually, if he plays nobody,
It will. No, it will because
I don't think it
Yeah,
will. If he
well, I mean,
keeps
people.
winning at a high level.
No, people will bring this up. Now they'll still credit him for winning a national championship at Indiana.
Oh,
of all
yeah.
places.
I mean, you win.
But I'll give you
championships.
an example of this. Even before all the bad stuff under Joe Paterno, what did Joe Paterno used to get killed for in the 80s?
Oh, they played nobody.
They played a terrible schedule, and it got brought up all the time with Paterno when people would talk about why did he not win championships in the 80s? Well, they played a terrible schedule, and the AP never would reward it.
Oh, I think they were undefeated a couple of times.
They
and
were,
won
but
a
they played an
championship.
awful
Well,
schedule.
you know what? Who doesn't have to worry about that? Indiana, when you've got Ohio State at Michigan, USC at Washington on your schedule.
Yeah, no, I don't. Again, Cignetti does not care, but it is certainly bad for the sport, and it's bad for the consumer, which is making it bad for the sport. And I think
So
it'll
you
in the long
want a
run.
little slice of Indiana Notre Dame in 2030.
Oh, I said it last week. I would love to see Indiana Notre Dame. I didn't know it was scheduled. That's when Brooks brought it up. It is on. And I said, well, it won't be for long.
Yeah,
I'd love to see
yeah,
it.
you knew it was going.
Yeah, I'm just saying if if I was Kirk Cignetti, there's not a chance in hell. Like, you don't benefit anything. It benefits us, but what does that do for him?
That's right.
But at some point, somebody has to do it, or we don't get those games.
That's right. We're not going to, because at some point, somebody's got to incentivize the school to play these games.
And again, this is why ultimately we get to super leagues, and none of these games are going to matter. Because you can lose 4 or 5 games in a year and still get to the postseason.
The only thing that will incentivize them to play these games, if they think Fox is going to cut money. I mean, that's money is going to drive all of this. And
and you'd still have the coach pushing back. Now, the AD and the president would be all
That's
in.
right. They would say, we're going to have to play some of these games, Sig, because we've got to keep getting the checks.
I mean, I don't think we all realize how crappy the opening weekend
I do.
schedule
I
is.
literally just told you Fox is pissed.
Well, I told you Fox, but, I mean, Alabama opens with East Carolina at 11 a.m. on ABC.
Yeah, that's an ABC game. East Carolina. Alabama's a 25-point favorite.
1996, Chris Stewart would have loved to call the East Carolina-Alabama game on Tide Vision.
It would have been Chris and Tyler on pay-per-view.
Yeah, I still think there's enough to pick through, and especially, the fact that we just love college football. I would rather see great games too, but it's just not going to happen.
No, it's a bad first-week schedule.
Brown, you keep bringing up how the money, the television money, is what's going to drive this. Does the committee ever actually shift to incentivizing a strength of schedule? I'm sitting here thinking that if Indiana goes 10-2 this year with this dog crap schedule, and there's a SEC team that went 10-2 who played a 9-game conference schedule plus a Power 4.
Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a great example.
So 9-3, use 9-3 because 9-3, 10-2 is where the debate comes.
So
I played a manly schedule, one respectable of our peers,
and you lost that
9-3,
and you lost that game,
or
though.
10-2.
But you lost that game
in Indiana. That's what I'm saying.
But what does it matter? I mean, you lost the game.
Yeah, but if you played the game. But if you played Michigan and they played Northern Illinois.
So I was in the duel, but I got shot and I died. I mean, like,
sometimes heroes die.
But that's why we. That's why we have a committee, though, so a committee can. Now, if you're going to have a committee, you got to leave leeway for the committee to look at things like that and say, yeah, but I know they're 9-3, but they at least went and played Michigan. Indiana's gaming the system.
Well, guess what? Didn't matter for Texas last year. Boy, they were 9-3, one of the best teams in the month of November, but they lost 3 games. They played Texas or played Ohio State. Didn't matter.
No, you're right.
Why would you do it?
But that's my point.
Yeah,
the sport has not incentivized. That's Brooks' question: is if they started to incentivize it, would it change this?
I don't know how you incentivize
I think I'm right about this.
Doing exactly what we're talking about.
Sadly, the best game on the opening Saturday is Clemson LSU, and the second best game is Baylor Auburn. Am I right about that?
I know the best game. Yeah. You're right, but
I think you're right on that.
Clemson, who lost 6 games last year, and his first time starting quarterback on the road at LSU is our best game of opening weekend.
Yeah.
And then Baylor Auburn is the second best game.
But that's all right because we got the Sunday night before Labor Day. Nope, that's Wisconsin hosting Notre Dame, which is not, it's not going to be a very good game.
Yeah, I just wonder if Indiana could get these games. Like if you look at Ole Miss, their only difficult out-of-conference game is Louisville. Would Louisville play Indiana? I don't know if they would.
A home and home? I don't know. Indiana is a weird study. You're like, Ohio State home and home? Am I going to lose the game? Maybe, but I'm got Ohio State.
Yeah, Indiana's almost Boise on steroids.
Yeah, I mean, Lance is kind of right. Like, does your fan base, like if Alabama announced a home and home in 20, 30, and 31, if they just took those Notre Dame dates, do you think Alabama fans would be like, all right, Bloomington, Indiana?
A&M's only difficult out-of-conference games, Arizona State at home. Would Arizona State take Indiana? I don't know.
That was that one, I think, was set up right when Arizona State rolled into the playoffs.
They did it that recently?
Everybody was rolling out of that roster.
They knew we won't have to face that roster.
Quick break here. When we come back, a little bit more college football show today being brought to you by our friends at Lance'sLock.com. Hempill gets you to Lance's Lock. Maybe he's playing Scooble tonight, or maybe he's playing the other side.
2-1 last night, Major League Baseball. More winners coming up. We're only 2 days removed away from our 2 days coming up on the NFL preseason. Jump on and win with us at Lance'sLock.com. Free play every single day there. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hempill Services. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, cooling, any of these issues, home or business, they are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090 or HemphillServices.com.
And if you're looking for a club home in the Birmingham area, we recommend you making it Inverness Country Club. You can see more at ICCAlabama.com, and you can also set up a tour of Inverness Country Club, 205-991-8608, 205-991-8608. That's the number to call. Our friend Aaron Hilliard will get you set up for that tour of Inverness. What are you going to see? You're going to see a beautiful golf course. You're going to see a wonderful clubhouse with great food. You're going to see that resort-style pool with a cabana. You're going to see that tennis facility that is world-class. But the people are what you really want to see because that's what makes Inverness. So when you're looking for a club home in Birmingham, make it Inverness Country Club, ICCalabama.com, or call Aaron now to get that tour set up at 205-991-8608. Inverness Country Club, the best days happen in Inverness.
The insurance company called. They offered you a settlement. Sounds good, right? Wrong. They're counting on you not knowing what your case is really worth. They're betting you take pennies on the dollar because you're scared and overwhelmed. Don't fall for it. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys has recovered over $2 billion for going to war with insurance companies that try this every single day. Call 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Free consultation. You pay nothing unless they win.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the Next Round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
All right, not enough time to do the whole thing on the Chris Lowe story. I'll give you a snippet here, and then I'll bring it back more after we talk with Clay. We'll do our 40 and 40 team a little bit later on. But some interesting college football numbers brought to you today by our friends at Hoover Toyota.
Yeah, if you're in the market, new or pre-owned, whether it's car, SUV, or truck, our friends at Hoover Toyota, they are there to serve you. I've got to take my car in this week to get serviced. The service and parts department, fantastic. The on-site finance department, they're going to roll that red carpet out for you. I'm a 2-time over customer now over the last couple of years. Fantastic people at Hoover Toyota. Stop in, see them right there on Highway 150 to view the inventory and more information about that on-site finance department. Go online, hoovertoyota.com.
Scheduling, one final note on that. In the last 5 years, Notre Dame in the regular season has played 13 games against teams that finished in the AP Top 25. In 5 years, they played 13 games against teams that have finished in the top 25.
So that's on average about 2.5 games per year.
Yep. Most of those were either USC or the best team in the ACC.
I mean, I would say, though, if you go through the ACC and the Big 12, the numbers are the same from top to bottom.
I would agree.
No, Chris Lowe has gone through all of these.
Okay.
Florida in that same period played 25 teams that finished in the top, so almost double. Of what that. So
no, I think in the SEC and the Big Ten, you're going to see a lot of that.
That's right, when you're in conference. Auburn, who opens camps, and Golish on the podium in a little over an hour from now, his first fall camp. In the last 5 years, they are 2-20 against teams that finished in the top 25.
Well, I was hoping you were just going to give us the number, and then I was going to throw out what the.
But if he had said 22, would you have said 2-20? I would not.
I would have come close. Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
So this is Auburn.
What are the wins? Like,
I know.
Harsin never had a signature win. Freeze never had a signature
win. Harsin has both of those in 2021.
Yeah.
I think one of them was against Kiffin and Ole Miss.
Maybe, and then I think there was an Arkansas win or something like that. It was something. I
was at a night game Jordan Hare when Harsin was the coach.
Yeah.
And he went celebrating the stands like they'd won a championship, and that may have been the last big win.
If you had told me Auburn had 22 games against teams that finished in the top 25, over the last 5 years, I would have probably guessed 5-17.
I think I would have gone 2-20.
Would you have?
I really think so.
It's just remarkable.
Just by comparison, as in his time as the coach at Alabama, Kalen DeBoer is 6-4 in those same games. Just in his just 2 years at Alabama, he's 6-4.
Which doesn't sound great, but we have done this exercise. You would be stunned at how few coaches lifetime.
6-4 is great.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but you'd be stunned at how few coaches
have
active
have
a winning record lifetime against ranked. You'd be stunned at how few.
And those are the majority of Kalen DeBoer's top 25 losses.
Yeah, he's 14-7 overall against top teams that finish in and this isn't top 25 when you play them. That means this is a team that's good all year long.
They stood the test of time.
They were there at the end. Only one team in the SEC worse than Auburn in the last 5 years.
I would say that team is going to be Arkansas or Kentucky.
I can remember Arkansas beating Tennessee in that primetime game.
They just hadn't won any conference
games,
really.
But boy, I can't remember many more.
According to Chris Lowe, it's Vandy, and they're 1-18. They're only ones against Alabama.
They've got the number one team in the nation, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I just got to go. I mean, I believe Chris because last year is so recent, but I'm just looking back at their 10 wins last year. How none of those were over a top 25 team.
When that's a team that's got a finish ring when they beat them, right? Yeah.
Reading comprehension, not always my strong suit. We all know that on the show here. But if I read it correctly in Chris Lowe's story today, that's what he was saying.
Okay, so they had wins over Tennessee last year. I don't think Tennessee was ranked at the end of the year. They had a win.
They weren't because Vandy beat the crap out of them in the final game.
Right. That's what knocked them out. Yeah.
They had a win over Missouri. I don't think Missouri was ranked. And they had a win over LSU.
There you go. Those are 3 unranked.
Yeah. And they beat South Carolina with South Carolina was number 11. And obviously South Carolina wasn't.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the one, this is the last one I'll do right here.
Dude, can I before you do, I'm sorry, Jim, but does that pour a little water on Clark Lee? Or do we still say, look, Clark Lee's.
I mean, he still beat those teams. Tennessee should have been better last year. LSU should have been better.
He's still beating name brand SEC teams. But I mean, that is pretty remarkable. The only team he's beaten that has finished ranked was the number 1 Alabama team that he beat.
Yeah. Later on, I'll use some coaches comparison, but one more team comparison here. In the last 3 years, now, how long's Heupel been there?
5
at Tennessee.
This will be year 6.
Okay, but in his last 3 years, where the program is trending, Tennessee is 2-9 against teams that finished in the top 25 in the last 3 years.
Again, I think Alabama.
And that includes a playoff year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't a really good Tennessee team. Very good defense, ran the football well. But
his best team.
Yeah, the best team didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, didn't make the playoffs.
22.
Yeah, first of all, it was a limited playoff. It wasn't a 14 or 12 team playoff. And second of all, his quarterback got hurt at the end of the year.
So
that's a little surprising to me.
I would say 2-9's a bit low. Yeah.
Last year they didn't beat anybody. Literally beat nobody.
That's right.
Lost to Georgia, lost to Alabama, lost to Oklahoma, lost to Vanderbilt, lost to Illinois. There was nobody they beat on their schedule. I would almost say the only team they beat I don't think they beat a team with a winning record last year.
Yeah.
Seriously, Syracuse didn't.
Nope.
East Tennessee State, no idea.
Who cares?
UAB, no. Mississippi State, no. Arkansas, no. Kentucky, no. New Mexico State, no. And Florida, no.
That was their wins last year.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Remember,
terrible.
That's a pretty bad set of wins.
Remember when Clay had Alabama in the rearview mirror of Tennessee?
I do.
And that little shot that he posted, Clay with us coming up here momentarily. Tennessee passing Alabama on the interstate of college football.
Oh, my God. Outside of Alabama in 24, there's none of these wins. Oklahoma, I forgot what Oklahoma ended up. I don't think they ended up good in 24, though, right? No, they didn't.
24 was
that's Venable's first year, right? And they were
5-7,
6-7. It felt like.
Yeah,
like that.
That uneven Alabama win is their only top 25 over the last 2 years. Yeah, terrible wins.
We watched these games, and I just don't remember. If you'd have said, "All right, Brown, Heupel's got 11 of these," I would have said, "Nah, Heupel's probably
5 and 6.
I don't think I'd go 5. I'd probably go 4 and 7.
By the way, 8-game schedule. Signetti's got 9. 2 years ago, Tennessee. When they get to a college football playoff, they're out of conference. Syracuse, East Tennessee State, UAB, and New Mexico State.
Yeah,
that's
bad.
Disgusting.
It's disgusting.
Viewing menu brought to you by Michelson Laser Vision before we get to Clay coming up at the top of the hour.
205-969-8100, the number I called way back in 2003. I had the 2200 vision, was legally blind without the aid of contacts after the procedure, which only took 12 minutes for both eyes. 2015 vision better than 2020. Make the phone call that I made. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100 or MichelSonLaserVision.com. So I saw a movie last night, Tyler, that I'd never seen before, and I'd meant to see it, The Machinist with Christian Bale.
Okay, yeah, I've been meaning to watch that as well because everybody talks about how much weight he lost.
He lost 78 pounds. He got down to 121 pounds.
Yikes.
It just seems like that would hurt.
You can see his organs almost in this movie. And, he claims, and I had to, again, I Google way too much when I'm watching some of these movies. He claims to have gone a year without sleeping, not in real life, the character in the movie.
Right.
What do you think the longest on record somebody has gone without sleeping?
12 days.
That is so close, 11 days and hours.
That'd kill you, though. I don't know how you do that.
Oh, they said by day 2, hallucinations and stuff.
That is a real photo of Christian Bale?
100%. That is him in the movie, yes. He basically starved himself to make this movie. And then he was Batman. And then he was Dick Cheney.
Yeah, his weight
has fluctuated.
Yeah, that's so dangerous, man.
Mariah Carey, throughout the years. He should have been nominated, though, for Best Actor for this performance. The movie is insane and very, very weird. It's almost like a Hitchcock movie, kind of.
Okay.
And the way it's scored, it's good. And it's only like 94 minutes. But it's really, really weird. He should have been nominated. He was very, very good in it.
I believe that he's good in pretty much everything. What was not good, though, was Ice Cream Man. I saw that last night at the Scream Unseen from Eli Roth.
We could have told you this. You told yourself this yesterday.
I did, yeah, but, I was going to the theater. I wanted to watch Spider-Man, but I couldn't find a ticket that wasn't in the front row for Spider-Man until, like, the 10:30 screening. So I was like, fine, I guess I'll watch Eli Roth. And
well, what time do you typically stay up to? You seem like a guy that would stay up late.
I can do about midnight, 1 o'clock, but I also have trouble sleeping, so I usually only get about 4 to 6 hours of sleep a night. So some nights I'm up till midnight, some nights I'm up till 2 a.m.
Damn, I don't think any of us outside of Brown. I don't know about Forrester and Brooks, how they sleep. I know Bo doesn't sleep well. Our new sales guy, Luke, was just telling me he's a young buck, and he said he never sleeps. I know
Luke has sleeping problems.
Oh yeah, already. I told
He's
him,
got
good
two to
luck with
work.
that.
He's got two to work up here. Apparently, I'm the only one that sleeps.
Yeah, like if we had a Big Brother situation with those night cams,
Yeah, y'all
we'd just be flipping
y'all be
nonstop.
having fun and then cut the video.
Lights would be coming on and
Yeah.
off.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to have really bad insomnia. Like in college, I would be up for 2 days straight with no caffeine or anything like that.
That's awful.
Yeah, that was terrible. Try taking a Spanish test. 40 hours no sleep. You can't think in your own language.
Ask
much
Brown
less
about that.
Spanish.
Yeah, I slept through those
how
too.
would you do?
Yeah, not great.
But Ice Cream Man was absolutely horrible. Even if you're just like a gore hound and love the blood and guts kind of horror, you can skip this one. It's got a lot of
gore, not horror.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
There's probably some of those in the Ice Cream Man. I
Probably.
mean, that's what Van Halen sung about in their song, right?
I don't know their song. Ice
Bad
Cream Man.
song too.
But this one had AI special effects, and it was very annoying. And it's not a fun bad movie. It's not a so bad it's good movie. It knows it's what kind of movie it is, and that makes it worse. So it's just bad. Do not go see it, even if you are a big horror fan. Video on demand, new release, Soulmate. A man acquires an artificially intelligent android to cope with the loss of his recently deceased wife. In an attempt to create a truly sentient partner, he inadvertently turns a harmless love bot into a deadly soulmate. It's from the creators of Megan. This one did not get distribution after Megan 2.0 flopped last year because they switched from a horror movie to like a Terminator 2 action style movie, but with also comedy, and it just didn't work. So they did not release this one in theaters. But for anybody who's a fan of that franchise or that premise, you can watch it on demand. Prime has added Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes to its catalog. I really like this movie, along with pretty much every other Planet of the Apes movie, even the Mark Wahlberg one, directed by Tim Burton.
Couldn't stand them.
It's terrible, but I like that one. It has its charm. But Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, much better. And finally, Tubi has added a classic to its catalog. For free, you can watch Superbad.
I saw the McLovin scene when he goes to buy beer. Been drinking these for years. Okay, I'm going to have to ID you now. We saw one of Brown's favorites last night because Maddie had never seen the remake of the Thomas Crown Affair from 1999.
Very good flick, I think.
I thought the first two acts, the final act, just got so freaking preposterous. But
With the hats.
I had well that, and then he ends up in the plane. I mean, just a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I had forgotten that a 45-year-old Renee Russo runs around that she's basically
topless.
naked the whole movie.
The whole movie, yeah. I guess that's not body double, right?
I'd forgotten that. I thought it was like a PG-13.
No. That's a hard R.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
And that's what Tyler's watching, brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Clay's coming up on the other side. Our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, making sure you stay on top of your health, prostate health, the kidney stones, they'll do that for you. You can get everything they offer for you at Urology Centers, urologycentersalabama.com. 10 great locations. 70 years is their history of compassionate care here in Central Alabama. Guys, they do hormone therapy, the testosterone, ED treatments. They can talk about that when your urological issues bleed over into that part of your life. Men's and women's health, but they have a whole complete men's health center here at one of their locations that they'll take care of you. Get all the details and stay on top of your health. Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920 to make that appointment, or online at urologycentersalabama.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Facing time for a crime, huh? Got a list of charges looming over your head? 5-0 got your back up against the wall. Them alphabet boys trying to sit you down on that rack. Well, have no fear. The People's Defender is here. Attorney J.B. Brown, powered by Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorney. He meticulously investigates every case and challenges evidence. Dedicated to protecting the rights and futures of individuals facing criminal charges. Hit him up now at thepeoplesdefender.com. Thepeoplesdefender.com.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Clay with us in just a second. Storm Restoration Roofing with you all the time. 20 years locally owned. Greg from Pell City, Andrea, his beautiful wife, really the backbone of the company. Not that she makes Greg get up on the roof. He does that out of love and passion, but if he decided to get hesitant about getting on the roof, she'd give him a good kick in the butt, get him up on that ladder and get him on that roof to give you that free no-cost roof inspection. He's a brilliant businessman, and he's brilliant at what he does because he knows straight up, if I give you a free no-cost roof inspection, I'm going to help you out. You're going to know at that point what's going on in your roof. And I'm an honest guy, says Greg, and I'm going to get up there and I'm going to tell you that, hey, you don't have a problem. You're good. You don't need a roofer for 3 to 5 years. Call me back in 5 years, and then we'll talk again. That's how much he trusts that just meeting him and seeing how he does business is going to make Storm Restoration Roofing your roofing company for as long as you have a roof. stormrestorationroofing.com to get a free no-cost roof inspection. 205-542-3531. 205-542-3531. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. If you get one of these summer storms that damages your roof or you think it's damaged your roof, call Greg. He does storm damage repair. And he's great with the insurance providers, and that's going to help you get better results from your insurance policy. New roof replacement does that too. He's just a good guy to have on standby. 205-542-3531, stormrestorationroofing.com. All right, before Clay gets here, a little bit more college football news. If I ask you your biggest question as Auburn opens up camp, what do you want answered in this camp at Auburn right now? What's your biggest concern?
Biggest concern for me would be skill around Byron Brown.
Well, I was going to say the same thing, primarily receiver.
Yeah, I mean, you lost so much of the receiver. Now, the good news, you got 4 of the top 5 receivers from South Florida coming in, but how good are they going to be and how much of a transition? Like, we feel like Byron Brown, watching him over the last couple of years, should be able to make the transition to the SEC. But will he have skill around him? I think that's the question mark because the defense can be really good.
I think you nailed it. If Byron Brown had last year's Auburn receivers.
Oh, wow.
Coleman, who's at Texas. Fields, who's at Ole Miss. Singleton's at Florida.
Yep.
If you had those 3 guys, I don't think anybody would worry about Byron Brown making the transition.
I don't think so either.
No,
I don't think Byron Brown's worried about it because I think he's got confidence in those guys that are coming.
And that's what I was
going
to say. He's got confidence in those guys, and he's got chemistry with those guys. There's a lot of – and those guys know the system too. I mean, I don't think you can overstate the importance to answering this question. Now, whether it gets answered or not, but the answering this question is the quarterback is very comfortable with the head coach in the system, and so are most of the returning production at receiver. It's just at a different squad. I mean, the question you always ask about this, and I guess if I had to ask differently than you did, is can South Florida production in the American translate to Auburn production in the Southeastern Conference? I mean, that's always the question you're going to ask about players like that. And, look, much like we point out Indiana on a team front, I'll always point out the fact that the leading passer in the SEC last year was playing 1 year before at Ferris State. And you would always say, well, Ferris State, that's not going to translate to the SEC. Well, it did last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how that happened.
If you would have said, hey, this guy, total yards, led the SEC last year and it was a transfer, you would have said John Mateer.
That's right. I mean, a guy that's at least coming from Washington State.
And he was the guy that struggled, so you really never know. I mean, Cam Ward coming from Washington State, I mean, it was a breeze.
The argument about that would be, well, it succeeded because a veteran, seasoned SEC head coach was his head coach that knows offense. And that's always going to be the question you have, whether it's John Summerall or Ryan Silverfield or Alex Golish. Can what these guys did that worked in the American also work in the SEC? And that's, you never know until you see it happen.
For Alabama, as their camp opens up this week as well, we had Roman Harper on the show yesterday, a really honest, good conversation about Alabama football. One of the things he mentioned was the size in the secondary, and he'd like maybe to start using that size a little bit more man-to-man and press up on the line. One of the freshmen to see if he can work into any of the rotation in the secondary is Jordan Edmonds, who's one of the big recruits that Alabama got, a 5-star guy. He's another 6'3" guy. So you got so much 6'4", 6'2" to 6'3" guys in the secondary. Alabama's really huge on the back end. It'll be fun to see if Edmonds can get out there. Same with Jamarian Matthews, the linebacker. But the one freshman I'm dying to see is not really Crowell at running back. I think I know what you're getting with him. It's Sindarian Morgan. I've been talking about this guy since he committed. He's a 6'4" receiver, and can he slide in there with Ryan Coleman-Williams and Latsir Brooks and sort of become a more dynamic Isaiah Horton this year? If he can, that's the player I'm most excited to see as fall camp opens and when we get to the East Carolina game.
So here's I'm about to make a statement with 2 big ifs in it, okay? And these are big ifs, and I'll say that up front. If Sindarian Morgan is what people think he is, and if Ryan Coleman-Williams can get back to Ryan Williams of year one, you put those two with Lottie Brooks, and I think, now those are 2 big ifs, but I think Alabama's got the best receiving core in the SEC, and I know who plays at Texas. But I think if those things happen, if Ryan Coleman Williams is back to what the Ryan Williams of his freshman year was, if Sindarian Morgan is what people say he is, and that's probably my biggest question of those two, and you add in Lottie Brooks, I think it's the best receiving core in the conference. And again, I'm aware of who Texas has playing at receiver.
I would be shocked, but we'll see.
You would be shocked that those two things happen, or even if they do happen, it's the best receiving core.
That it all comes together.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that is the big unknown.
Again, waiting on Clay, scheduled to be with us here. I was going to ask you, what's the question for you with the Alabama camp?
It's offensive line, replacing 4 guys. And the offensive line was terrible last year, but you had a first-round guy in Caden Proctor. You had an all-conference guy, 3-year starter in Parker Brailsford. It didn't make any sense how bad they were. Now you got to replace the 4 starters. And if you got a bad offensive line, you can't win football games. You can't. So
I mean, we saw that last year, right? I mean, Alabama actually won some games with bad offensive line.
And that's the one thing that I will say that I probably don't bring up enough when I talk about Alabama. They've got 4 really difficult games that they win 2 of them. They should be 10-2 and get to a college football playoff. They won't win any of those 4 games if the offensive line is worse than it was last year.
Was it Roman yesterday on the show that said that coaching and scheme on the offensive line is more important than the actual 5 players that you can?
I think he said Nick Saban said that, which carries, with all due respect to Roman, who we adore, that carries even more weight when Nick Saban says it.
So with Coach Clem over there coaching a different scheme and trying to get 5 to play as 1, it'll be interesting to say, okay, we don't have an NFL first rounder on this offensive line, but the offensive line is actually better than it was last year. That'll be something to watch as Alabama opens up camp.
All right, let's talk with our friend Clay Travis. You see him now on Fox Sports. He is with us on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline, also the host, Clay and Buck, more than 500 radio stations throughout America, and the future owner and general manager, I presume, of the Nashville Balls. Welcome in, Clay. How are you?
I'm great. Not bad. How about y'all?
Good. Are you just going to own it? Will you be the active general manager of the Nashville Balls, or are you just going to be
player coach like Jackie Moon, right?
Yeah, player coach.
Yeah,
what you going to do?
Could be a player coach, I guess. Look, I mean, the WNBA accepts my application for a franchise. It'll be nice to be running the greatest dynasty in the history of sports. I don't think we'll lose. If you're not aware, the WNBA coaches have been saying they would welcome men who identify as women into their league. And so I'm willing to have the most inclusive and the most diverse calendar talent in the history of the league. And so the Nashville Balls, the all-male, identifying as women, very expansively, very inclusively. We will be an unbeatable dynasty, and look forward to the WNBA responding to my offer to start an expansion franchise.
Well, but back to the offer, I don't know if it was before or after. I can't keep up with your timeline, but you offered $10 million. Was it to the WNBA champions to play a high school team of your choice? I don't even think this would be close. I just went and I looked. After I saw that, who was viewed as the best boys team from last year is Link Academy outside of Branson, Missouri. They went 11-4, by the way, because they play in one of these IMG-like leagues. But their front line was 6'7", 6'9", 6'9", 6'10". I think they would beat the best WNBA team by 25.
Oh, 50. I mean, if they really wanted to score, I'm not sure the WNBA team could get the ball across half court if the boys pressed. And I'm not even exaggerating.
Yeah, and I think they would take your offer, but I think they know what would happen. I think behind the scenes, they would be like, this is dumb. We're knocking it off. Anybody would play for $10 million, and you literally have offered $10 million to either side, the winners, right?
Yep. Put it on pay-per-view. All the proceeds, would go to Tunnel to Towers, great charity event, T2T.org. And they pay off mortgages for anybody out there who is in the military, first responders, police, whose loved one is killed and leaves behind a family. It's a great charity organization Frank Stiller runs. They do incredible work. So not only am I putting $10 million to the winner, I think if we put this thing on pay-per-view, we probably would raise tens of millions of dollars. Everybody would watch. and maybe certainly would be the most watched women's basketball game, I think, of all time. And might even challenge the Jordan-era Bulls. I mean, I think this is the kind of event, if you look at some of these, like Jake Paul fighting Mike Tyson, that, have sort of captured the national zeitgeist. I think this would, every single sports fan in America would be talking about this. Guys would be throwing, parties to watch with their buddies. I think it would be a cultural event, and I think the high school boys would obliterate the girls, the grown women. And a lot of people would have to go back and say, hey, biology is real, which is the impetus behind all of this. The reason why we have men and women's athletics is because basically no women would make any team if we only had unisex teams. And it's like people want to forget that that's the reason why this exists. And so I put my money where my mouth is, for better or worse. The disadvantage people have now is I'm super rich. And when you're super rich, you can do a lot of cool things.
I went and looked. Has there ever been a trans player in the WNBA? I couldn't find one.
I think there's woman who identifies.
Two non-binary people that were born women. That's the only ones I could find.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying it would be the most inclusive if they're welcome and open. That's why it would be the most inclusive team in the history of the league.
How did I was not alive for this, obviously, and Clay, I don't know if you've studied it, but it gets celebrated, the Battle of the Sexes. Bobby Riggs, I think, was the old boy's name, playing Billie Jean King. How did all that get started? Do you remember?
I have no idea.
I lived through it.
Okay, how did it all get started?
I think, if I remember, I was a kid. If I remember correctly, Bobby Riggs was really trying to do it to promote women's sports, to help with the Title IX that was being pushed through at that time.
Yeah.
Big debates going on in our country about that. And a lot of people believe Riggs was on the take.
Oh, yeah. No.
He was an old man. But, but it was a massive thing. I remember watching. And
Astrodome?
Astrodome sold out. ABC prime time.
That's
Howard
incredible.
Cosell.
Yeah.
Howard Cosell. I mean, like Clay's talking about, that kind of event.
This would be the most viewed WNBA game of all time. I don't even think it would be close.
I mean,
correct.
For sure.
Pay-per-view. I mean, a lot of people.
Brown, would you watch?
I mean,
you would. You would.
And you've never seen a WNBA game in your life. I've never seen one I would watch.
What's my paper? What's the price, Clay?
I mean, I'm paying for it, so you can come over and watch.
Okay, I'm going to watch it at Lance's house, Clay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, people would watch because it's a great debate.
Right.
I'm not kidding. I think we would, the price, we'd have to figure it out. But I think this thing would do, over $100 million in revenue. I don't think there's any doubt at all.
Okay, real quick, the highest, if I read this right, the highest rated WNBA game of all time is $5 million.
Oh, this was
I thought that'd be big. I thought that'd be bigger than $5 million.
Clay, I'll say this: like, the WNBA would be dumb to take this offer.
Of course they would,
but they do so many dumb things PR wise. This would basically close the book. The argument would be over. So I wouldn't be surprised if they take it.
50
all
million.
They have to do, LT, all they have to do on all of this is just issue a statement like the Olympics have, like the Women's Tennis Association has done, and just say the WNBA is called the WNBA for a reason. While we consider ourselves to be an inclusive league, you have to be born female in order to compete in the WNBA. Like, your birth certificate has to say
You're
woman.
never going to get that. You had the coach the other night wearing the T-shirt to call out Sophie Cunningham, who's one of the few stars of the league.
They won't say it. And so if they won't say it, then I think you have to have men who identify as women decide to play in the league to call them on this stupid BS. I thought, I'm going to be honest, when the Supreme Court issued their ruling that these crazy left-wing people would say, well, we disagree with the court decision, but we're going to move on. And people say, why do you care? People say, oh, it doesn't happen that often. Okay, if it doesn't happen that often, it shouldn't happen at all, right? Like, every single person just about listening to us right now has played 10-year-old baseball or basketball at some point. If a 14-year-old had tried to compete in 10U baseball or football or basketball or soccer or any other sport, every parent would say, no, this is unacceptable. It's why they ask for birth certificates when you play little league sports, because some kids get mustaches before others, right? But there is an age requirement. Nobody can suddenly say, oh, I'm trans age. I'm 26, but I feel 12. Like that was laughably absurd. There is no such thing as men who are born as men that can become women, right? If you want to put on a dress and you want to dance around and you want to put on makeup and you want to be a drag queen and that makes you happier, fine. That's existed for a long time, right? But there is a difference between a man dressing up as a woman and me being required to lie and say a man pretending to be a woman is an actual woman. If you want to do something that makes you happy, go for it. But I'm not going to lie, and I'm certainly not going to lie for purposes of athletic competition. I think these girls are being cheated beyond a shadow of a doubt. If it happens anywhere at all, it's unacceptable, right? Like, I find this to be utterly absurd, and I think the only way to handle absurdity is often by ridiculing it with humor, which is what I'm doing, but also $10 million. I mean, most people out there, if somebody put $10 million up for an athletic competition, if you thought you were actually anywhere near as good, there's $10 million on the table. Wouldn't you roll the dice? Like a lot of guys listening to me right now would fight a heavyweight champ for $10 million just on the off chance that they might be Rocky, right? And so anyway, this absurdity has to be called out. And until it's stamped out everywhere, in all states across the nation, I'm going to continue to do it. And for the people who say it's not a big deal, it doesn't happen very often, okay, then end it. If it's not a big deal and it doesn't happen very often, then just end it once and for all.
I think the people who say it's not a big deal, some of them believe you're correct, like me, that if you're born a woman, you should play women's sports. If you're born a man, you should play male sports. 100% agree with that. I think people are saying, some people are saying, like I would, that this is like you're invading the Falkland Islands. You've won this. I did a little research. There are fewer than 10 athletes who are trans. Fewer than 10 is the best guess from the NCAA out of 510,000 athletes. So you sort of won the war here. There's just not the numbers here.
If your daughter was one of the 10 and she lost a scholarship or she lost a spot on a team,
100%.
Would you believe?
Oh, I agree, and I agree with you.
So
but
if
it
there's
seems like it'd
only
be
10
easier to fight these individually one at a time than you sort of pouncing and bouncing around the ring with the WNBA.
This word counts again. All they have to do.
No, you're bringing
is just
awareness to the
acknowledge.
situation, Clay. I like where your head is.
Yeah. I mean, I just think you have to point out and ridicule the absurdity. And so
I just personally think you could protect women's sports by also not beating down women's sports at the same time, if that makes sense.
I don't think
there's a lot of great things going on in the WNBA,
sports.
I guess.
It's not beating down women's sports to point out that the reason women's sports exist is because they're not as good as men. Like, that's a factual reality. And we've lived in this world where you're just not allowed to acknowledge biology now. And worse than that, you're supposed to be willing to lie. Like, there's a difference between, like, every single person can pick out the dude pretending to be a chick, right?
Right.
This is not a challenging thing to do, all right? Again, if you want to dress up like a chick and you want to put on makeup and you want to put on high heels and you want to put a dress on and you want to prance around and say that makes you happier. We've had drag queens for a long time. They didn't pretend to be actual men. They were women. Women. They were men dressing up as women. What has happened now is, and this is really important, because once you are unwilling to lie, people lose their minds over this. They are requiring that you say that they are the same as women. And if you don't say it, then you're pointing out what is the truth, which is this whole trans construction is a house of cards that has no basis whatsoever behind it. And unfortunately, I also think this is important because if you really want me to get on the soapbox, if I take my 11-year-old today to go get a tattoo in Nashville, my wife would murder me. And that would be justified because 11-year-olds are not old enough to make decisions about getting their bodies tattooed for the rest of their lives. We're getting 12 and 13-year-old girls getting their boobs chopped off. We're getting boys who are getting anti-puberty blockers so that they don't get testosterone so their bones never grow up. We are destroying thousands of kids' lives across the country in the name of this awfulness. So the one way that I think you can address it directly through the world of sports is call out lies and be willing to stand on it. Now, other people are like, oh, that's too mean, Clay. Oh, that's not empathetic enough of you. Well, suck it up. Sports means somebody wins or loses, and that's important in life. If you got a penis, you're a boy. If you got a vagina, you're a girl. We used to know that from kindergarten cop. Now we got Supreme Court justices who can't say it. I'm sick of it, and it's time for sanity to reign.
I guess my response to what you asked Clay, Jim, would be, and I understand what you're saying, but my response would be, if you don't address it when it's just 10, what does it become, right? I mean, at some point you've got to address it.
Well, right now, K through 12, there's under 100 in the nation.
Okay, but
That's
when,
still
so
a lot.
when do you address it?
Oh, we're a nation of how many people?
But my point is,
under
so
100.
When do you address it, though? Do you wait till it gets to 250? What if my daughter's? I'm the father of 2 daughters. One of them did not participate in sports. She was in dance. The other one is participating in a lot of sports. What if my daughter's number 101? You know, what if her team is where number 101 shows up?
Yeah, 100% on that. But, I mean, take it outside of sports. How many people got murdered in Birmingham last year?
Sadly, I don't know the answer. It was down. I know that.
Bet,
yeah, it's actually down.
I saw a big
I bet
stat
it's
that was
150.
Okay. So it's only 150. Why do we try to stop murder?
Yeah. And I know those aren't comparable, murder and transit, but at some point, what's the number where you say, okay, this has to be addressed? And I get people are saying the same thing as you in the chat is like,
I've done this for 33 years. I've yet to come across a trans athlete.
I haven't either. It's probably
but
because
5 years ago, this wasn't even an argument.
Yeah,
they weren't even on the table
there
5
was
years
zero.
ago.
I have. We employ one who lost a championship because a dude put on a women's bathing suit and won the NCAA women's championship.
Yeah, well, it should have been a rudderless race.
I mean, think about this. We got a guy in a women's bathing suit tucking his cock and balls back behind his asshole, pretending to be a chick. And he won the NCAA title. So that's kind of a big deal. I mean, winning an NCAA women's championship is what they all pretend to aspire to do.
I
and
did
this
have a
guy
fraternity
pretending
brother
to be
that
a
could do
chick.
that occasionally and make everybody laugh on a wild Friday night.
That's a great fraternity.
By the way, I guess he tucks. I don't know what else he did. He hadn't cut his cock and balls off, but somehow he was wearing a women's bathing suit.
By the way, to full circle the thing, 50 million people in the U.S. tuned in to see Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs. 50 million
That's
people.
remarkable. That was on free over-the-air television, obviously, back then.
90 million worldwide, so 40 million outside of the U.S.
I think 10 million is a realistic number.
And there were 30,000 people in the Astrodome to watch it. It was set up for tennis.
That blows
I
me
mean,
away.
if they would play, it would be the most certainly the most watched game featuring a WNBA team of all time.
Yeah, if the number I have is right, I thought 5 million is. I thought it'd be bigger than that.
Well,
5
there've
million is
been
the
a
number I
lot
got.
more. Like I believe the Caitlin Clark, Iowa women's college basketball has been
That's
way
true.
more popular.
That's
like
true,
20 million people have watched those games.
Yeah,
But,
LSU Iowa, I think, was that national championship.
No, you're
game.
right. I guess that's probably what I was thinking. I was just thinking women's basketball in general, not necessarily the WNBA.
Yeah. I don't
But
watch.
yes,
I don't watch the WNBA,
Oh,
so
I don't
I
either.
apologize for not being as passionate about this as you guys are. And
But
I don't,
you would watch this game, though, would you?
I would watch this game. I would watch this game. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything the WNBA can do to make me watch the WNBA.
No, I'm not going to watch it either. I think.
Well, Caitlin Clark is actually really entertaining and plays a different way and style of basketball than anybody has in the WNBA. I really do believe this than in the past. I mean, even when you watched her play college basketball, I think that was true. Having said that, a WNBA game is like an 8th grade boys basketball game. There's lots of people who like 8th grade boys basketball. That's fine. I've coached it. It's not exactly how I would choose to spend my free time if I were otherwise not involved, had a player on the team or was watching.
Hey, one final thing. I know you keep up with the business of sports. Pat McAfee, the bell cow right now for ESPN. Interesting the last couple of weeks, a couple of interviews, J.J. Watt, who's a buddy of his, got on there and talked about Pat. Is he the reason all these guys got fired? And then yesterday, I don't know if you saw it, Aaron Rodgers just scorched earth. But
yeah.
My question to you, and look, some great sound bites in there. Do you think it gets to a point, is Pat bigger than ESPN so he can allow these guys to come on here and basically take shots at Diana Rossini and take shots at the network?
Yes.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Yes. I mean, look, I think the world in which we live, the individual independent content creator, you guys are representative of this. But look, if tomorrow ESPN said to Pat McAfee, you can no longer appear on our network, in 2 or 3 years, maybe even faster than that, no one would remember that McAfee had ever been on ESPN, and he would be every bit as big or bigger than he would have been with ESPN. I mean, I think this is the challenge that a lot of these platforms have run into. Mr. Beast is bigger probably than almost anybody in all of media right now, and he did it all through YouTube. If you told me right now, Clay, and look, I've been on FS1 or ESPN, Clay, you can have your own show on ESPN for an hour a day, right? And talk about whatever you want. Or you can have 10 million YouTube subscribers. I would way rather have 10 million YouTube subscribers than a show on ESPN. I don't know how low that number would have to go on YouTube, where I would say, okay, I'll take the ESPN show. But I think every day YouTube gets bigger and more impactful. And direct-to-consumer video gets bigger and more impactful. And every day, the overall impact of the ESPNs of the world decline. Now, there is a huge impact, LT, if you said ESPN has the Super Bowl this year. For the big tentpole events, game day, I think, is a huge deal in terms of getting in front of a lot of people. I think that obviously if you're involved in NFL playoff coverage or you're involved in Super Bowl coverage, 100 million some odd people are going to watch that. That's hard to replicate on the internet. But in terms of depth of fandom, I would rather have 10 million YouTube subscribers, probably 5 million YouTube subscribers, than a daily show on any cable network at this point.
All right, he is Clay Travis. You can follow him on social media, Clay Travis, Clay and Buck, worldwide, more than 500 stations throughout the United States, and also see him on Fox Sports. Thank you, Clay. Have a great week.
All right, appreciate you all. See ya.
All right, buddy, we'll see Clay with us on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline.
And the show brought to you by Central State Bank, local for years and years.
They are indeed the bank that is local, and that makes a huge difference. They are large enough to meet every need you have, whether it's buying that car or opening that new business. But they're small enough to know you because, as Jim just said, they're local and they're in your community. That is what it's like dealing with a community bank. It is remarkable. Central State Bank. Everything, like I said, from buying the car to open the business, they've got what you need at Central State Bank, and you're dealing with local hometown people. 6 locations throughout Central Alabama. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
By the way, we didn't get to it in the viewing menu, but Vincent Pastore passed away. Salvatore.
Yeah, if we would have done our headlines going into the weekend, if I would have said "Pussy is dead,"
yeah, that would have been a sad headline.
Yeah.
Either way, I mean, the guy did die.
Age 80, but I would imagine he played a lot of the same roles in his career, didn't he?
He did. He only got, I think, 4 or 5 movies. He was doing a couple of podcasts. He was, input in a lot of these Soprano books. But, he was one of the, the first main characters in one of those huge storylines. I think it was season 3. When he flips and becomes an FBI informant.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, if you hadn't seen it by now.
But his character
was a
arc's
great character.
Yeah, his character arc's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Because he was only in there 2 seasons, right?
2 or 3.
Yeah, it was a very brief,
sure.
I mean,
that was
big character.
A sad couple episodes.
Well, he went on one bad boat ride.
Yeah.
One bad boat ride out of him.
But they have to do that to your friend.
Yeah. I mean, they had to.
There's a code.
You can't sell heroin. You get caught. And you flip.
My favorite part of it is when he's trying to convince him. He's like, man, I am giving them bad information. It's actually a good thing for us.
Yeah.
At least they gave him some tequila before they shot him.
Yeah. I just I saw that passing, and I thought it would come up in the viewing menu, but we breezed right past it, so I wanted to get that out there as well. Crane U takes us to break. When we come back, a couple of more of those Chris Lowe numbers that were amazing. In our 40 and 40 team today, I think we're at 19 already. That's how close to college football we are. If you're close to changing careers, Crane U can get that done for you.
Yeah, Crane U is your all-in-one destination for Crane certification success. They're going to guide you through every single step of the process, from the comprehensive preparation, both in and out of the classroom, to ensure you're fully equipped for even the toughest exams. Then they're going to streamline your experience by administering both the written and hands-on test right there at their facility in Leeds, so you can get certified with confidence and convenience. Inspections, training, certifications, whatever you need, Crane U's got it handled. One call you make and you are good. If you talk to Nicole or Francis, make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. For more information on Crane U, craneu.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
You know, sometimes injury attorneys get a bad rep, being called ambulance chasers, showing up to the accident scene before the EMTs get there. At Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys, this ain't that. We get enough cardio. No need to chase ambulances. Look, if you're injured in any type of accident, don't accept a dime from the insurance company. Hit up the gators of the litigation situation. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorney. Call 659-777-7777 or AlexWins.law.
Call me, Alabama. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the Next Round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Another stat I came across before we do our 40 and 40 today. In the last 2 years, Ohio State, Oregon, and Indiana in Big Ten games are 48-1.
All right, say that. Oregon?
Against other Big Ten teams other than Oregon State, Indiana, and Ohio State. So unless they're playing each other is when they're beating each other. Against everyone else in the Big Ten, the other, 15 teams?
Mm-hmm.
Those 3 teams are 48-1 in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I think Michigan can stomach it because they just won a national championship 3 years ago. But if you're a USC fan, you don't really understand what's going on here. If you're Penn State, you don't understand what's going on. Even if you're Nebraska, you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, and to merge the two stories, because I think USC if I'm a Penn State fan, I'm a little put out by this because
is Penn State the one? Did they beat one of those teams?
How many years?
Last 2 years.
I mean, Penn State played for a national when the
it's Michigan
semifinals
over
2 years
Ohio
ago.
State.
Yeah, Michigan, Ohio State.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
Michigan
right.
is the one.
Yep.
Michigan beat Ohio State.
That's a crazy number from those 3 teams.
If I'm Penn State, I'm upset I'm not in this. If I'm USC, I think I'm the most upset I'm not in this. I think USC because, it's funny, we talked about the Notre Dame USC series, and I think it was The Athletic tweet this morning as the teaser to their article is like there was only one winner in the USC Notre Dame interruption, and that was Lincoln Riley. He was the only person that won in this thing. Schools lost, football fans lost, the sport lost, but Lincoln Riley was the beneficiary of not having to play Notre Dame it's going to end up being 4 years, right? That he's going to
2030.
Yeah, that he's going to dodge Notre Dame.
But USC probably for the first time in their life flexed enough power where they won the battle over Notre Dame, getting that moved to the front of the season. Another Big Ten team of interest in the discussion is our 40-40 team today, brought to you by our friends at Hoover Toyota.
Whether you're in the market for new or pre-owned, our friends at Hoover Toyota, they've got a great inventory of cars, trucks, SUVs, all available right there. Highway 150. Stop in, see Scott Peoples and the great staff there. They've been rolling out that red carpet for more than 2 decades, not only in Birmingham, Alabaster, Vestavia as well. They want to make sure they retain you as a customer for life. I'm speaking from experience twice. Got my daughter a car back in 2024, got myself one back in 2025. Absolutely loving the experience. Again, from the sales department to the parts and service, the on-site finance department. To check out more information, go online, hoovertoyota.com.
All right, Forrester gives us that big slate of graphics here. We're all the way to 19. We're just flying by up to the third to last line of this. And in the top 20, we had Clemson yesterday at 19, Big Ten team. It's the Purple Rain up in Seattle, the Washington Huskies at 19. LT, listen to Jed Fish here. Head coach Jed Fish says, hey, this team's ready to take the big step.
Last season, we took a big step forward. We were 104th in scoring offense in our first year. We were 17th last year. We were 53rd in scoring defense our first year. We were 17th this past year. 15th this past year, excuse me. But we didn't come here to talk about last year. We came here to talk about what's in front of us. And I love our program, and I love where we're headed. I love our culture. I love our players. I love the physical, violent, disciplined football that we play. And we represent the Big Ten in the right way. It's a championship conference. This is the closest thing you get to the National Football League. I think it's what the Big Ten is about, man. It's about the National Football League mentality that you have to be ready to go from LA to the Rams play the Giants, and we play Rutgers. Seahawks, go ahead and play the Ravens, and we play Maryland. And I think that's the coolest part of what we got going is that we can get our kids and our players ready to play in the next level. Because unlike the other conferences or some of the conferences that are regional, we are a national brand.
That's a stupid analogy.
The Giants and the Ravens are like,
I wanted to say this before you even played his sound because I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
He is the most cocky coach that has never won anything in his life. Now, he's coming off 9 wins, did a really good job. He's got an electric quarterback in DeMond Williams. But can we play the very first clip, what he says about the offense? Because I got a point on this.
Okay.
Where he goes from year 1 to year 2, what did we do offensively?
Last season, we took a big step forward. We were 104th in scoring offense in our first year. We were 17th last year.
Okay, 17th last year. I got to point this out because they did average 34 points per game and 440 yards per game, but they played 3 elite teams, Ohio State, Michigan, and Oregon. What do you think they scored against those 3 teams?
I would put the average at 13.
6 points against Ohio State, 7 against Michigan, and 14 against Oregon. So you scored 26 points against those 3 teams, and you're sitting here talking about, and by the way, all 3 losses. Like, that's
I
great.
would think, yeah.
But if you're going to talk about the big boys and the closest thing to the National Football League, the only 3 elite teams you played, you couldn't do anything offensively. So in order for them to be able to get over the hump, they've got to be able to offensively play better against some of these teams. And you do have an electric quarterback in Damon Williams. And
who wanted to leave.
He wanted to leave, no doubt. And this is that year. I think they're going to be favored 9 games. You got to go to SC. You got Indiana at Oregon, some tricky games against Iowa, Penn State, and at Nebraska. But, there is no reason they can't get to 10-2 this year.
Didn't you guys get a feeling that he wanted to leave Washington?
Who, Jed Fish? Yeah. I think he wanted the Florida job.
He wanted the Florida job,
and for some reason, there was a connection between him and the Florida job. What is that connect? Is there an obvious connection I don't know about with him in Florida? Because I thought that was a weird.
Yeah, I think he was an assistant there.
Was he?
Yeah.
But they've had a lot of us. Well, I've got his bio pulled up.
I've heard that he
was a GA there.
He's got 33 dream jobs, and Florida's
one of them
in the NFL.
And Washington ain't one of them?
No.
I mean, it's a good job, in my opinion.
It's a very good job.
I like that program.
Yeah, it's a very good job. I mean, if you're doing pecking order in the Big Ten, it's the top half, no doubt.
He's a Florida grad, by the way.
Okay, well, that, I guess, my stance on that. That should not matter one bit. But yeah, I mean, I think Jim, he thought he was in the running for the Florida job, and there for a minute, when I guess Summerall, maybe it looked like Summerall was going to go to Auburn, Fish's name appeared to be the lead name there until Florida doubled down on Summerall and made sure they got him.
I said it a decade ago.
Great value, Dan Mullen, if they got him.
I agree 100%.
If James Franklin ever won a national championship, he would be the most arrogant coach in all of football. That would be Jed Fish.
But here's what I'll say about Jed Fish. Now, he's only done this 2 places because it's the only places he's been an actual head coach. He was an interim at UCLA for 1 game.
Oh, he's gotten them better.
Arizona 1-11, 5-7, 10-3. That's a heck of a build.
No doubt.
You can't deny that. Took Washington over at 6-7, 9-4 his second year. I mean,
that's
it's
why
the same pattern.
This year, when you got 4 or 5 offensive linemen coming back, you've got a defense that only gave up 9 rushing touchdowns.
And that quarterback.
Last year, and the quarterback, and really a doable schedule. I mean, you're going to be – Washington should open the season.
And then they play Washington State Apple Cup. I discovered this yesterday. Yeah. It's the early NBC game on the Sunday before Labor Day.
Okay, but they don't leave Seattle the month of September. So they should be 4-0.
Should be.
Then they got to go to SC. That is a critical game because if they beat SC, they're going to be favored in the next 5 games before Indiana. So if they beat SC, they could be 10-0 going into the final 2 games.
That's a brutal November, though, an absolutely brutal November. When you host Penn State, you're at Michigan State, you host Indiana, you're at Oregon.
It is.
That is a tough finish for them.
But you'll be favored in 2 of those games.
Well, they're going to have to be Lance, they may need to be undefeated going into that month just to make the college football playoffs.
Oh, I think if he was to circle a game right now, it would be USC. It's
such
a big game for Lincoln Riley and for Jed Fish.
It almost feels like in the preseason that October 3rd at USC determines the last playoff spot in the Big Ten.
Where do you think or Fox or Big Ten, where do you think they place that game? Will it be a prime time?
Well, it's at USC, so it's got to be at least 2:30 or prime time.
Either CBS or NBC. I don't know what Notre Dame's got that day. That helps.
I mean, at that point, though.
It's a big game. I'm serious. I mean, just in the preseason, it feels like that is for the last playoff spot in the Big Ten.
Yeah, the problem is USC, there's a good chance they lose the week before because they host Oregon.
Ooh, back-to-back losses would kill them.
Yeah, well, and then they got Penn State after that.
Oh, wow.
On the road.
So they can lose 3 straight.
Oh, they got Oregon at home, Washington at home, at Penn State. But if they were to beat Oregon 5-0 against 4-0, at that point you got
a huge Big Ten
2 top 10 teams.
Yeah. It's either CBS or NBC, but I mean,
do you think it would be smart while you're talking about that game particularly if Maine Fox tried to own Friday night? Do you think they could do Friday night primetime numbers as good as they do 11 a.m. if they just use
good games?
If they just use that slot for the good West Coast game on Friday night.
So in other words, they would have Washington at USC Friday night, and then they could come back with
Oregon's got to go when they can do that prime time.
They could come back with their big noon kick. On the next day.
Maybe I do think a lot of people involved with those programs would be pissed off because of high school football, but I don't know. I'm all in.
In the West,
I never picture. I mean, I know how big high school football is, like at that school in Las Vegas and
Bishop Gorman, I
and
think
then
in Las
all
Vegas.
those.
Yeah.
They're obviously great high school football in California, but is there a passion to attend those
See,
games?
I think in the South,
like it is in Texas.
Oh,
and,
I don't know.
and the
I don't know
South.
about attending. I'm just talking about like if you've got, a brother, a kid, a nephew. If you've got that and you're tied into, watching
This
games.
may be stereotypical. Excuse me. This may be stereotypical West Coast, and this may be me making a mistake, but I feel like the issue in the South is the same fans that go to the high school games go to the SEC games. I
Right.
don't know if that's the case in the West Coast.
Yeah.
I don't know if the same fans that are going to the high school games are also going to the Oregon
I
and
don't know.
USC games.
I truthfully always pictured some parts of the country playing their high school football on Saturday day.
Oh, that
games.
does happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
don't know
thought
where.
that was more East Coast.
Yeah, I thought that was Northeast where they don't really care about college football.
Yeah, I didn't know if Friday Night Lights was a coast to coast thing. I just felt like that was a Texas and then the South thing. Yeah, interesting. Sorry to sidetrack because I just thought about trying because I want those Pac-12 schools, which are pretty good right now in the Big Ten, USC, Washington, our team today, and Oregon. I'd like to see those at a good time with a good crew, not up against something meaningful in the SEC that I want to watch. And I think Friday night would be a great place for that.
I absolutely. Like there was something, the 2:30, CBS SEC game was great. I watch them all, but I still can't get that excited about the 11 o'clock Big Ten kickoff.
But to Dunaway's point, Saturday, November 7th, if I've got Washington hosting Penn State, Maine Fox, I think that gets a big number.
On a Friday night?
On a Friday night, yeah.
Because now you've got less competition, and it's a big game.
Yeah, and Fox has improved the Friday night schedule. We covered it a long time ago. They've got what used to be a Thursday quality game is now a Friday night game on Fox until the NFL comes for Friday nights, which I'm sure they will at some point.
Yeah, and I think ESPN has a good Friday night game that Jordan Rogers will be part of the broadcast almost every Friday night.
Yeah.
I think we got a good Fox and a good ESPN game.
It's become, they used to do Thursday night until the NFL came for Thursday nights, and now they have a decent Friday schedule.
I mean, the first Friday, we probably, we really don't have a good game. But I think after that, I think we do have some really good Fridays.
Yeah, there's a lot of Big 12. All the Big 12 has to play on Friday, right?
Well, at least one game.
At least one game.
Missouri at Kansas.
That's a good game.
Oh, yeah, that's the second Friday. After that, we've got Houston at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
And Miami at Wake. I mean, that's not a good one, but, I mean, it's decent. But the Houston at Texas Tech should be really good.
I mean, you say the Friday night is not good in our opening Friday night, but by Big Ten early schedules, that's three of their bigger games, Toledo at Michigan State and Fresno State at USC. I mean, you look at the whole Big Ten opening weekend schedule, those are actually two pretty good games.
I'm staying away kind of from that. I'm just talking about Clemson at Cal. I think that'll be a hell of a game September 25th. I know people will laugh about that, but Clemson going across the country, to what Tosh is actually trying to build over there, he's got some players.
Yeah, and a heck of a quarterback to go with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Come back for his sophomore year. But that's a 9:30 kick, one of those late clock Clemson games.
I mean, we have tried a lot of things in college football. I would be interested to see Fox try that. You always go back. If it doesn't work, you always go back.
Clemson's Eastern time, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a 12:30 kick for them.
12:30 body clock. Uh-oh. We got a body clock game. Wait till the Brown Bandit finds out about that.
Brown Bandit coming back soon here on the show. All right, that's our 40 and 40 team today. Washington at 19. That gets us to our 4 down. Sometimes there's a 40 and 40 tie-in. It's brought to you, Brownie, by our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt.
Yeah, as you ride the roads of Alabama and you see those big roadwork projects, whether it is a federal, state, or municipal government project, there's a really good chance you're seeing our friends from Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction do those jobs. It may indicate to you, though, that they don't have time for your smaller job, a parking pad, a driveway at your house, maybe a parking lot at a church or a community center or a convenience store or something like that. No, sir. They've got an entire division dedicated to just those types of jobs. Same crew, same quality, same no excuse standards, no matter the size of the job. So for any estimate, big or small, Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction, 205-349-0910, 205-349-0910, or CentralAlabamaAsphalt.com.
First down.
Who gets back to a college football playoff first? I know technically Florida's never been there, but Florida or Washington?
I mean, Washington could do it this year. I don't think Florida can. I'll go Washington.
Yeah, but if they don't do it this year.
If they don't do it this year, then we're back on the clock here.
Now, DeMond Williams will be back, though. Should be for one more year.
Yeah, as Dunaway pointed out, he tried to leave this year, too.
It depends on what his contract says. I'm going to take Florida here. Neither one of them this year. Florida maybe next year.
Yeah, I feel like Florida made the right hire in
I agree.
hiring Jed Fish and getting John Summerall. And I agree that this could be the year if everything broke right for Washington and they went 10-2, but I think ultimately it will be Florida.
Boy, that would say a lot about the Washington program to have two different coaches and be in the playoffs that quick.
I think it's a sneaky good program.
No, it is.
I mean,
look, these coaches completely different to me, though. I mean, Chris Peterson, you kind of knew when he took Washington that he would be able to do something like that when Fish took it.
Well, technically, I apologize. That's three different coaches. I forgot about Peterson. I was
talking
thinking
about Don
DeBoer.
James? Oh, DeBoer.
Yeah. I was thinking DeBoer took him to the national championship game.
Yeah.
Peterson had him in there and losing to Alabama semifinal. So three different coaches. Basically, it's West Coast LSU. Everybody who coaches there gets into the playoffs if this guy's able to get them there. Crazy.
Second down.
Billy Bob Thornton, 71 years old. If I ask you ultimately better career, Billy Bob Thornton or Billy Crystal?
Billy Crystal.
I never liked Billy Crystal. I would go Billy Bob.
I think I'll go Billy Bob Thornton.
I too am
When
going to
Harry
go.
met Sally plus Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc., Billy Crystal.
Yeah.
Sling Blade.
You named two things.
Yeah.
Both better than Sling Blade. I like Sling Blade, but both are better than Sling Blade.
Friday Night Lights, which you can poo-poo on if you want to as a movie, but it is culturally relevant to a lot of Americans.
I will poo-poo on both the series and the movie.
I
culturally
agree.
relevant.
I agree.
Culturally relevant matters. Critics can pan things, but that's culturally relevant.
He was in Armageddon.
Wasn't he also? Was he
Landman?
Nope. Landman is good. I was about to say wasn't he the detective in The Fugitive, but that's not him.
No, that's Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
He was
three
in
name guys.
Goliath, which the first season was good, and then it completely
Was
fell
Monsters Ball highly?
Oh yeah, critically acclaimed.
Critically acclaimed is what I was trying to say. Yeah, I think Monsters Ball critically acclaimed. There's a famous scene in that movie with he and Halle Berry. I watched that movie thinking it was in black and white. Tyler, I don't know if you've ever heard this story, but
that is shocking. You watch Monsters Ball.
It is back when you had DVD players.
So you thought everybody was trying to get you to watch Halle Berry nude in black and white?
Correct.
Okay.
And
it's art at that
I thought it was artsy. No, I thought that's what they were going
We've got
for.
a correlation. He saw Thomas Crown Affair with a naked Rene Russo.
Yeah.
Now you got a naked Halle Berry.
I mean,
no dinosaurs were naked.
I have male blood pumping through my veins. I mean, there's always going to be the curiosity there. But I watched it because it was critically acclaimed, and I had just plugged my VCR back in, but I didn't get it plugged all the way in, so it was showing in black and white instead of color. So I watched it. I'm like, I can't believe that movie's in black and white. My buddy was like, what are you talking about? I was like, the Halle Berry, Billy Bob Thornton monster. It's black and white. It's not black and white. But I'd already taken it back to Blockbuster, so I don't know if I've ever seen it in color.
Talking about a depressing movie.
Yeah, it is pretty sad.
You should have seen it in black and white.
I got the artsy.
Adds to the mood.
I got the artsy version.
Yeah, you didn't even bring up City Slickers for Billy Crystal, but I was
That's a
never Billy
funny-
Crystal.
that was a funny movie.
That was a good
That's a
movie.
funny
But I would
movie.
go
Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Third down.
Jeff Gordon is 55 years old today. Let me see. Jeff Gordon or Dabo Swinney, better career?
Oh, Jeff Gordon. Yeah. I mean, Jeff Gordon is potentially a top. I mean, he's a top 5 of all time. And not even potentially.
I know, but
arguably Mount Rushmore of NASCAR.
Yeah.
But you also got to look at the popularity of NASCAR to college football, right?
That's true, but he was in it in its most popular time.
That's right. He and Dale Earnhardt made it
Yeah.
the most popular it ever was.
Yeah,
and
so
probably
I
ever will be.
Yeah, I'd go Jeff Gordon there.
Yeah, I'd go Jeff Gordon too. And I saw an interview recently with Gordon. I think it was on Pardon My Take on Barstool, where he said, if I could ask Dale Earnhardt one question when I get to heaven, the first thing I'm going to ask him, all the things you said about me during our rivalry, were they for show or for real? Because I took them personally when they were happening, but as I've gotten older now, I realized that was just his way of promoting our sport. and it was never really intentionally at me. I believe that to be the case. I'd love to ask him, and I never got a chance to ask him while he was alive.
Wonder if Earnhardt's sitting there playing cards, and he's like, "It was not for show, pussy."
I hated your guts.
Yeah, can he get away with that in heaven?
What was wild? No, I don't think so. It's very mean-spirited. That's not going to happen in heaven. What is wild is that Earnhardt was willing to be NASCAR's villain and became NASCAR's most popular person, and Gordon was going to be NASCAR's white hat and became NASCAR's villain.
Oh, I don't think
he seemed like the most polarizing driver of all time.
He was a villain to Earnhardt fans, but he was uber popular. I mean, it was.
But he was the guy that got coolers and everything thrown at him.
Oh
right?
yeah. By Earnhardt fans.
I remember people wearing when we used to go to Talladega all the time. Everybody wearing either the 24 shirt or
they were the two most popular drivers. Yeah, the 24
right.
the 3.
It wasn't 50-50, especially at a track like Talladega. But nationally, it was a close rivalry.
Yeah, I had a guy tell me first race I ever went to at Talladega. I'd never been, so I didn't know, like, when you're in the infield, you really can't see what's happening. You got to watch the screens and stuff like that when you're in the pit area, the pit and the garage area. And I was taken aback by how loud the crowd actually cheered. Like, I didn't know you would hear the crowd cheer that much, right? And I would hear the crowd cheer, and I was like, man, it's weird to hear the crowd cheer. And the guy I was with says, if it's half the crowd cheering, half the crowd booing, Earnhardt just did something. If it's the women cheering and the men booing, Gordon just did something.
Yeah.
That was kind of the reputation the two had.
4th down.
Barack Obama, 65. Roger Clemens, 64. Before you just go American president, let's think about Roger Clemens for a little bit.
Great career.
I've got 2 autographed baseballs. One of them is Roger Clemens, one of my favorite pitchers of all time, Nolan Ryan.
Oh, that's nice. That's a good collection there.
I was going to say the other one's Barack Obama.
I'd love to have a Barack Obama
From
baseball.
start to finish, he's the best pitcher I've ever seen, at least, beginning his career, ending his career. 7 Cy Youngs.
Yeah.
2 World Series champions. He won an MVP as a pitcher. That's very, very difficult to do. I would go Roger Clemens, really, really tight.
Yeah. I would go Obama, really, really tight.
Yeah. President Obama being the first black president of the United States is obviously cultural. I can't say it either, Jim.
I have no problem saying culturally.
Well, you weren't saying it earlier. You were missing a letter. Significant to our culture. Think I'll go President Obama here, but it is tight. That's a tough one there.
I mean, the stats, you go look at the stats. He did a lot of good things in that year.
So. Oh, he did? Yeah. I mean, like any president, people are going to hate some of the stuff he did, love some of the stuff he did.
Housing market was tough, but...
Yeah, not always his fault.
Yeah. You never know what you inherit. Yeah. Same way with Roger Clemens. He was a starter, but sometimes he inherited bad situations.
Bad situations.
That is our 4 downs today, brought to you in part by our friends at Odie's.
Odie's Tavern, great place to go. Tomorrow night, trivia. Every Friday and Saturday, you've got live music and just an incredible place to have lunch or dinner. Rodney Davis doing the great food for 4 decades now. The award-winning wings, delicious burgers, fantastic sandwiches, ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Don't forget about the Odie's Famous Cup cocktails as well. Get in and see Will Haver and that great staff. 2 locations, the original Crestline, newer location in Edgewood. It's Odie's Tavern.
And if you want to wake up the echoes of Gordon and Earnhardt, you can do it when we race again at Talladega. Coming up October the 25th, it is playoff racing with the Yellowwood 500. That racing weekend is Friday, October 23rd through October 25th. That includes a truck race on that Friday, NASCAR O'Reilly Series race on Saturday, and, of course, the Yellowwood 500 Cup race on Sunday. You can get your tickets right now. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, or go to 877-GO-TO-DEGA, 877-462-3342. And don't forget to upgrade your tickets with the Talladega Garage Experience. You'll have the great camping available for you and special pricing for kids under 12, and if you're a college student as well. It's all right there. Oh, they've got a Saturday night concert as well. Get tickets and information about that at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Dump trucks, delivery vans, tankers, 18-wheelers, 35 types of commercial vehicles share the road with you every day. When one hits you, trust me, the company's lawyers are already moving. You should be too. Over $2 billion recovered. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys are ready to fight for you. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law for your free case evaluation. Don't wait. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys. 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical offices, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Is that Champy's Chicken, by the way, brings you the sour. And then I'll do the lookalike thing I was thinking of in just a second. Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling and the crew down there. Wonderful folks, first off, and he's curated a wonderful place to enjoy lunch and dinner right there at Champy's on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by there for lunch or dinner, and he handles your tailgating in just a few days for college football and the NFL on Sundays. Great place to go after church, too. He brines that chicken overnight, just like Aunt B used to do on Mayberry, and then he cooks it to order. and then it's just delicious. It's good. He uses more than 7 herbs and spices. Chicken fingers are huge. They're as big as Tyler's arms, and the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales are so good. It's all right there at Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. That Jed fish shot that's frozen, give me that again for me. Just pop that up. There we go. Is it Fred Armisen?
Yeah, that's who you're thinking of.
Yeah,
that's
a little
deep
bit
dig.
of Fred Armisen.
Yeah. Dunaway said he looked like a Saturday Night Live cast member, and I was like,
I couldn't remember what it was. So it looks like Fred Armisen is now playing Jed Fish in a skit.
Don't remember Fred.
I mean, it's not going to be a dead, but just that profile has got some Fred Armisen. Wouldn't you agree, Tyler?
A little bit.
Yeah. It's not a dead ringer by any
I was never
stretch.
a big Fred Armisen fan. How about you guys?
I'm trying to think of the most famous skit he did.
He's 33rd.
Brooks says the Californians is hilarious. I'm not familiar with
He's
that one.
33rd on the top 50 all-time list of SNL characters. 4 spots, ironically, ahead of Chris Rock, and 1 spot ahead of Billy Crystal, who I didn't know was an SNL cast member ever.
Yeah, I thought Crystal, back to...
This is Fred Armisen.
There's Fred Armisen. I think you've probably seen him before. Oh, he was on... what skit was it?
Yeah, the one on the far right's the California.
Yeah.
Funny skit.
That's Saturday Night Live at the very, very least funny moments, in my opinion, in the history of the show.
Yeah,
The
early
Fred
2000s
Armisen era?
was rough.
Yeah.
Billy Crystal, though, last week you did on the viewing menu Saturday night, the movie. Remember, Billy Crystal was part of that. He was more trying to break in. It seemed like he was kind of the odd man out, but I think he hosted Saturday Night Live like the 4th or 5th most times of anybody.
I think so. He's hosted it a bunch.
He and Steve Martin?
I knew he hosted it.
Yeah.
I just never knew he was a cast member. So I guess I was wrong because he's listed on this list. And how is Chevy Chase down at 35 on this list?
Some of that stuff,
Who did
I think.
the list? Was it former members? Because they hated
It's
it.
because people hate
That's
Chevy
what I was going to
Chase
say. Yeah, a
now.
lot of Chevy Chase's ratings are based on the fact that nobody likes Chevy Chase.
Innisfree countdown to kickoff is at 25 days. Your game day tradition is Innisfree Irish Pub in Tuscaloosa and Lakeview. Irish-inspired pub food, the signature Irish gold sauce, and always a world-class atmosphere. It's Innisfree, 25 days away from kickoff. Let's do the spotlight.
The College Football Spotlight.
It's presented by our guy, Alexander Shunnarah, trial attorneys, a Birmingham guy, Birmingham born and bred, went to college at UAB and decided, hey, it is time to start my firm. I'm going to start it right here in my hometown of Birmingham. And then he got, massively successful, right? And could have moved it anywhere. He could have said, you know what, I'm a Chicago guy. I'm an Atlanta guy. I'm a New York City guy. You know what? He would have killed it there. But he said, nope, I'm a Birmingham guy. So he stayed right here in Birmingham and has been taking care of his community for more than 25 years. Now he's built that firm to up to more than 150 talented attorneys, more than 500 dedicated team members, and he can serve you as well. He's recovered more than $2 billion for his clients. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shunnarah.com. Shunnarah.com.
I gave you some stats early on from Chris Lowe's a really in-depth look at some college football programs and coaches on On3 Sports today. I got a couple of other numbers versus top 25 teams. Dabo Swinney last year, and I love Dabo, and I defend Dabo on the show almost to death sometimes. Last year, he lost 6 games. None of those teams finished in the top 25.
That's as bad a season as he's had as a head coach, really.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think he's had a worse one.
And when he was ACC Media Days, he was referencing close losses. I brought up the fact yesterday that 3 of those were double-digit losses.
Yeah, but when you can be 6-6 or 5-7 like Billy Napier was at Florida and get fired with Florida's schedule, and you look at the end of the year and you see 2, 3, 4 teams who finish in the top 25, and you're still 5-7, you don't feel any better. You know what I'm saying? But they lost 6 games last year, and none of them were in the top 25 at the end of the year. That's alarming. That's losing to bad teams.
Yeah, and a lot of people would say, well, that could get a lot of people fired. Well, he was in the playoffs the year before, and he won games in the playoffs the year before. So
yeah, but he lost his quarterback, right? No, he had a quarterback that a lot of people thought was going to be NFL.
Last year is you know how I feel about Dabo. I think he's hokey. But with all that said, last year was really the only true bad year I have ever seen Dabo have.
Are you looking at his record right now?
I'm looking at last year's schedule.
One more Dabo stat from Chris Lowe. Last 5 years, he's 4-11 versus teams that ended in the top 25.
I mean,
4-11.
that's a problem because Clemson, for a moment, was the top program in football within this decade.
Right off the bat, you open with one, and along the way, you'll play Miami too. So there's two that you'll get this year.
But,
so you got to turn that around.
I mean, what a statement they can make by beating LSU.
I mean, yeah, it'll be the biggest story in week one. Zero doubt about it. If they beat LSU.
It will not. It will get covered up by the fact that that will signify the entire collapse of the SEC.
That's true. Yeah, it'll be an SEC story, not a Clemson story.
Underneath, SEC collapses. Clemson beats LSU.
I don't disagree. I think there will be some SEC theme in there, but I think it would be more about what's going on with Lane Kiffin with this roster. I don't think people would really give Dabo credit. It would be like second page.
Yeah, it'll be like, Lane Kiffin's coaching his first year. He's built this roster. Sam Levitt's coming off injury. There'll be a million excuses for Kiffin losing that game, to your point.
But I tell you,
I'm close to pulling the trigger.
But it goes from this. Like, if LSU wins that game by double digits, which a lot of people believe they would or will, people will look at Clemson and it's going to be another bad year. But if Clemson wins that game, when you look at their schedule, the only other game they would be an underdog in is when they host Miami, possibly. And by that point, they might be favored. So, like, if Clemson was to beat LSU, all of a sudden the narrative would be, damn, Clemson can win the ACC and get back to the college football playoffs.
Interesting first game. But again, from that SEC standpoint, discussing the conference as a whole, which has been a big part of the offseason, where the Big Ten is, where the SEC is, the two biggest games that opening weekend. Imagine if Clemson beats LSU and Baylor beats Auburn.
Well, and then Louisville beats Ole Miss.
And if Louisville beats Ole Miss on Sunday.
And by the way,
those are all on the table.
Then you got Texas-Ohio State on deck. And, boy, if Ohio State happens to win that one, I mean, they will be writing the eulogy.
I remember when there was a time we were doing a show, SEC versus this weekend. There's 7 of these games. What's the record? It was always 5-2, 6-1, 7-0. I mean, if I'm looking at those games, I think LSU wins. I think Ole Miss wins.
And Auburn.
I think Auburn wins.
Yeah, I think it's 3-0
And I think
SEC.
Texas. I mean, I would go.
You're going to pour it up?
Everything's going to be fine, SEC fans.
We're back to those days then, huh?
Everything's going to be fine. Yep. But it's a scary first couple of weekends for the SEC. Texas A&M last 5 years. Nope. Yep, last 5 years. 4-15 versus teams that finished in the top 25. And 2 of those wins came from Elko last year.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is the Elko's record? I would say Elko's probably 2-3.
Yeah, so he is delivering, except in November, against Texas, which he eventually has to do.
Yeah, I mean, if you could go back, if Elko would have won both the Texas games, he's in 2 college football playoffs. He's 2-0 against the state rival.
I think he's in 2 SEC championship games as well.
He is,
and
yeah.
who knows if he might have won one of those.
I think that's the only knock on Elko right now. If you're looking for a knock, is the fact that he hasn't beat his in-state rival. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, and one more on Florida because I got 2 coaches I want to do. Florida, 5-20 the last 5 years, but they played 25 teams that have finished in the AP top 25.
And Billy Napier would probably point that out when you start criticizing his tenure there.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's difficult. I don't disagree. 25 is difficult, but my Lord, you won 5 of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dabo won 4 in the 5 years.
Yeah,
I mean,
you won
10
5.
and 15 we can stomach.
Yeah, I mean, if they were 10 and 15, I'd be like, okay, Napier's probably still got his job, Lance. If
Yeah,
they're
and
10
I
and
bet
15.
some of those Florida losses are to like a ranked Vanderbilt, to a ranked Missouri. I mean, to a ranked South Carolina.
Yeah, well, a lot of them were to ranked Georgia, ranked LSU.
Oh, they were. Yeah. But you're also Florida. I mean, I'll point that out. You're Florida. This is not Missouri or Vandy we're talking about.
Yeah, I just want to look at Florida just last year, the ranked teams they played.
Boy, they almost beat Texas. I mean, did everything but beat Texas.
Miami ran them off the field.
Ran them off the field.
A&M ran them off the field. Georgia was really tight. Ole Miss, double-digit win. Tennessee didn't even rank. When they played them, they were 20th. Tennessee won the game by 20. Florida wasn't even close last year.
Yeah. Texas was the close one. What was that Texas score?
The Texas game, 29-21.
Yep, they had every chance to beat Texas.
That was kind of the turning point of the season.
Yeah.
2 coaches I want to look at brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision and what they've done and if it's any indicator of concern going into this year.
205-969-8100. I forgot Florida actually won that game.
What?
Florida beat Texas.
They beat
last year.
Texas?
Yeah.
Oh, it was State that almost beat Texas.
Yeah.
You're right. Florida did beat them. My apologies.
Because
on
they
that.
had lost 3 consecutive to South
that's on
Florida,
me.
LSU, Miami. They beat Texas, then they lose right the next week to Texas A&M.
100% on me.
Michelson Laser Vision. If you're thinking about going to games this fall, imagine not having to squint when you look up at the scoreboard. You don't have to deal with the contacts, glasses anymore. Find out if you are a potential candidate for LASIK. 205-969-8100. When you call that number, make sure you ask for Amy. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You got nothing to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Make sure you tell her Next Round sent you. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
The first one is Lane Kiffin. In the last 3 years, he is 7-8 against teams that finished in the top 25. That's a great number.
It's a great number, and especially the fact that it's still the Ole Miss brand. So when you're playing those ranked teams, you're playing the Georgias, the Alabamas, the Texas.
But here's the concern. In those same 3 years, he's got 6 losses against teams that did not finish in the top 25.
That Kentucky loss a couple of years ago, it was really the only game I remember. Did Will Levis win that game?
I think he did.
Yeah,
I think he did.
But that was the baffling one.
I think it was a big fourth down. Wasn't it a big fourth down pass?
Yep.
To the moving left to right across our TV screen, outside the numbers or something like that. But does that concern you guys that there's just not a lot of consistency there? 7-8, good number, solid number against good teams that finish in the top 25. But in 3 years, 6 losses to teams that are not in the top 25 at the end of the year, concerning at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the same thing you talk about with Kalen DeBoer, you talk about with Marcus Freeman. It doesn't make a lot of sense when these guys are really good against top 25s, how they lose. And to me, that is motivation. Like, that's getting your guys up. I mean, your guys are more talented to have, one of those losses every now and then. You can kind of understand it was just a bad day. Ball bounced weird. But to have multiple losses in a season like that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know that I would say the same of the big wins, but the puzzling losses are very Mario Cristobal of Lane Kiffin. Now, Mario got some big wins at the end of last year, but prior to that, he didn't have a ton.
Yeah, and it's just the opposite for a guy like Nick Saban, who won those games.
Easy.
The ones he lost were the coin flip games or teams that would finish in the top 25.
Won a lot of those, but lost some too.
Yeah. So, and then this one, because I know you guys love him, and I do too. I love him as a person, and I love him as a football coach.
Yeah, bro.
But it's the end. It's the end for Kyle Whittingham, and now he's getting a new life at Michigan. And the last 3 years against teams that finished in the top 25, he's 0-9.
That's surprising.
In the last 3 years.
Last year it was just kind of a bad draw. They won 11 games, but they play 2 teams that are ranked in Texas Tech and BYU, and they're unable to win either one of those games. He's going to get a lot more opportunities at top 25s taking over Michigan, though.
Yeah, in that Big Ten, absolutely.
Last year they got dominated against Texas Tech, and they go to Provo and they lose by 3. I mean, those were their only 2 losses last year. So really, really close. Going back to 2024, 2024 ended up being a disaster because he lost his quarterback.
Well, he never had his quarterback. It was in and out with Cam Rising.
Yeah,
right?
And that was that ended up, I don't even remember 7 straight losses in 2024
to end the year.
Yeah, that was crazy. And BYU ranked, Colorado ranked, Iowa State ranked.
It feels like Cam Rising both was lifting Kyle Whittingham up, but eventually was
dragging him down.
He lifted him up like a balloon, and then the balloon popped and crashed to the ground.
I think the most memorable
was 7 straight losses, Brownie. I think is probably when they decided one more year of Kyle Whittingham.
That's right. What's our future plan?
And then he went 11-2, and he wants to coach, but Utah has already decided we're moving on. Probably behind the scenes had already made the plans.
I mean, for him to be there 21 years and have the success that he had, though, that was a pretty amazing run at Utah.
Yeah,
absolutely. It'll be interesting to see what he does at Michigan.
The most Cam Rising moment ever was that Florida game. That was Napier's first game, and I think Rising had 2 red zone interceptions. And
his final 4th down pass hit
awful.
the ground. It was a 29-26 loss in Gainesville.
And it turned out to be I guess the highest moment for Billy Napier, either that or the upset of Ole Miss and knocking them out of the playoffs.
Well, and the crazy thing is that's the year that Utah won the Pac-12.
Yeah, but lost that game
because they ended up beating USC and Caleb Williams.
I just thought that was that's only half the article from Chris Lowe. You can go see it at On3 Sports if you're a member there. Just some fascinating numbers there on programs, but specifically coaches here in this segment. That was our spotlight. As we continue on, couple of NFL notes to get to before we get to trash.
We also have the coaches poll out. The coaches poll just dropped. Yes,
oh,
sir.
That's more important. We'll save the NFL coaches and executives for tomorrow, and we'll save everything else I told you we're going to do for tomorrow.
Well, stop the presses.
Okay, well, but you've seen it. We haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Let's do our top 10, Dunaway.
Okay. Can I tell folks about Way to Wellness first while you start? Oh, hand it to me. Can you throw me a marker, Brown?
Yeah, here you go. Because I've seen it, so I'm out.
Okay.
Y'all do how you think the top 10 goes.
How we think the coaches will
Do you want me to do one? Have you got one for me to do?
Completely different.
Are you want me to do Way to Wellness?
Yeah, I tell you what.
I did do Way to Wellness. I've done it when you've been gone.
Pretend I'm not here. Tell them how I used to be.
Listen, man, when
chunky.
Dunaway were here, Dunaway would tell you, boy, he'd gotten a little chunky, got a little out of hand.
Just tell Matt Mosley, I was 216.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the weight. Matt Mosley, I'd kill for 216 right now, Dunaway. It wasn't just the weight. Some of Jim's numbers were just out of whack. So he went cholesterol just crazy. He went to see our friend Leslie at Way to Wellness, and her board certified staff went top to bottom with Jim and came up with a plan for him, not just to help him lose weight, which he did, but also help him get those numbers back in order and really add to his life. That's the reason the website is aplanforme.com, because this is not some cookie cutter plan that they do at Way to Wellness. This is designed just for you, designed to help you lose weight, help you get more healthy overall. Aplanforme.com. Go see Leslie and her board certified staff and get a risk-free evaluation to see if it'll work for you. Spoiler alert, it will. Aplanforme.com. That's our friends at Way to Wellness. Aplanforme.com. So this is your coach's poll, the first of two big polls.
Hold on.
No, I'm leading up to it.
Okay.
72 coaches vote on this, and I'm going to be asked who the coaches are. Is there a specific coach while you guys are writing this that you want me to see who? Actually, they don't list the coaches for some reason. They normally do that on us.
They only do it at the last one.
Do they? They only tell me who's the coach at the last one, huh?
Oh, they only released the ballot.
No, I was just seeing which coaches voted, but it is not in the USA Today article. But this is USA Today coaches poll. First one is out today.
Okay, hold on. Hand me the eraser. I forgot one team because they're not in the conference.
Here you go.
Notre Dame? Forgot Notre Dame.
I always forget them because I go in my head conferences.
If you're a big AP poll guy, the AP poll drops 13 days from today. So the 2026 USLBM coaches poll, do not know what USLBM is, has released their preseason poll today. I find something very, very interesting as these guys make their predictions on what it's going to look like. Something very, very interesting. Actually, there are several interesting things about this. One of them feels like a bit of an anomaly. I don't know how the ranking works this way, but I don't know that I've ever seen anything like this. Jim, how close are you?
I've got one more.
Lance
Hold
needs
on.
one more.
Yeah, I got one more.
Well, see, I don't want to pull anything up to remind me of who's good and who's not good right now. I'm
not going to pull anything either.
Again, this coach's poll is put together by USA Today.
I'm just going to go with this. Okay.
Okay, hold on. I got one more.
All right, one more.
One more.
One more.
One more.
I don't like my number 10.
I don't like my 8 through 10.
Jim is closing his out.
Top 7, I'm locked in on.
You go first. Who wants to go first?
Let Lance go first.
All right, Lance, you go first. I'll tell you how many. Do you want to know how many you got in their actual spot?
Okay, okay. Texas at number 1.
Okay.
Ohio State at number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon at number 3.
Okay.
Notre Dame at number 4.
All right.
Indiana at number 5.
All right.
Georgia 6. Miami 7.
Yep.
Ole Miss 8. Oklahoma 9. LSU 10.
Lance got 2 of 10 in their proper spot.
How many of the 10 teams did I get?
I don't.
Okay. All right. You got 2 out of 10.
Okay.
Hand me yours. Let me look at it.
I've got Ohio State 1.
Okay.
I've got Notre Dame 2. I don't believe this is, but I believe the way coaches think.
You're going with coach.
Ohio State 1, Notre Dame 2, Indiana 3,
right?
Texas 4, Oregon 5, Georgia 6, Miami 7, Ole Miss 8, and then running out of time, I put Alabama 9, Texas Tech 10.
You got 3.
In their correct spot?
In the correct spot. Of the, let's see, there and there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lance got
70% of the top 10.
No, Lance got 9.
90% of the top 10.
Let me see yours. Hold yours up. Let me look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I don't think Alabama and Texas
You got 8
are there.
You got 8, and Lance got 9.
Last 2.
Yep. Your number one team with 38 of 72 first place votes. 6 teams got first place votes. Your number one team is Ohio State.
Yeah.
Ohio State is number
Adam
one
at
with 30
2.
first
I
place
thought
votes.
about going 1
Yep.
because coaches like to reward a little bit, and
Yep.
Ryan Day has won 1 before, and why give Sark anything? Because
Oh, they didn't give Sark anything. They're all the way at number 4.
Yeah, that's-
Oregon is number 2 with 6 of 72 first place votes. Georgia, the highest ranked SEC team, at number 3 with 7 first place votes. Texas, number 4 with 2 first place votes. Notre Dame, number 5 with 5 first place votes. Indiana, and here was the anomaly, number 6 with the other 14 first place votes. I don't know how you got
and that's-
14 first place votes and you're number 6.
That means you've got 14 first place votes
And a
then
bunch of
lot
low
bad
ones.
votes.
But how do you, a team that's won 27
I
of the
don't
last
know.
28 games, 16-0 last year, coaches typically reward those
They
teams.
do.
That's why
It's
I
not
had
like
them
they're going
3.
to fall apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had them at 5, and I felt bad putting them at 5.
Yeah, I had them at 3 for that reason. I thought they're going to overseed Indiana
That's
here
right.
because they're the defending national
Yep.
champs.
Nobody gives them credit.
And they're supposed to be better this year.
I know. Miami at number 7. Texas A&M at number 8. Oklahoma 9. Ole Miss 10. And the Alabama Crimson Tide at 11. That is higher than most people project them to
Yeah.
be in the AP poll.
Yeah. Texas A&M, Oklahoma, way high from the coaches. I should have gone there with A&M.
I was there with Oklahoma. I feel good about Oklahoma this year.
Yeah.
Texas Tech is 12th. I would imagine a month ago Texas Tech would be higher than 12.
Yeah, probably.
LSU 13, Southern Cal 14, BYU 15. 16 through 20 is Michigan, Penn State, Tennessee, Washington. Our team today, by the way, we had them at 19, so did the coaches. And 20 is SMU. More on them soon. Utah 21, Iowa 22, Clemson, our team yesterday at 23, Houston 24, Missouri 25.
Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered has Missouri going 5-7.
Now, that would not get them at number 25.
Yeah. And I texted him last night, DM'd him. I was like, damn. Just with his graphic.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know, but somebody's got to lose.
Somebody's got to go 5-7. Yeah.
Somebody's got to lose.
What jumps out at me on this?
You nailed it. I mean, 14 first place votes in your 6th.
I mean, that means there are some coaches that potentially had them in the teens.
Oh, there's mathematically no way for it not to happen.
At least the double digits. You know, maybe not all the way at 13, but at least at 10, 11, or 12, which is awful low for Indiana.
Surely there's not some coaches that left them off the top 25.
Boy, I would certainly hope not. I don't know how you could justify that. And this being the preseason poll should be the easiest one you do because you got all summer to put it together. You don't have to do it, while you're getting ready to coach a conference game.
You could do it while you're drinking margaritas by the beach.
Yeah, no doubt.
Do you think LSU is a little low because coaches don't like Lane Kiffin as much as people think they do?
Yeah, that, and I just think coaches are generally wired to think you're not going to be dynamic your first year. I think coaches are like, oh, he's going to have to deal with this. He's going to have to deal with that. New roster, new quarterback.
To your point, I think coaches understand maybe the biggest challenge is something that gets easier and easier every year. But the biggest challenge is, okay, I got 65 new guys. How do they blend together? How do we build a team?
Yeah.
In 1 year. But that's what everybody's having to do now,
Right.
Not everybody. I mean, Kalen DeBoer's not having to attack that as much as other places are.
9 SEC teams. That leads all conferences. In case you wonder, some teams that were just hanging outside, Louisville 26, Florida 27, TCU 28, Illinois 29. A lot of these
Florida
same teams we've done.
27 just basically on coaches' respect for John Summerall, I think.
I would agree.
I mean, what would be a reason to have Florida at 27, Lance, other than just other coaches looking at John Summerall saying,
"Yeah, I mean,
that guy's going to take over Billy Napier's roster and do it better."
Yeah, because you didn't see anything that made them look like a top 25 team last year.
Because they have as big a question at quarterback as anybody does in the league.
Arizona 30, South Carolina 31, Virginia 32, Vandy 33, Auburn 34. In case you wonder where Auburn is. Jacksonville State got a vote. Somebody had Jacksonville State in their top 25.
Somebody had Jacksonville State in their top 25.
Rich Rodriguez.
Oh, and ours too, right?
I bet if
you
Rich
think it was
Rod-
Rich Rod?
if he's voting, I bet it was.
Thank you vote. Thank you, Jacksonville State.
Yep. So that's the coaches poll that's out. Give me a product in America that the coaches poll is Because for some reason, I get zero excitement out of the coaches poll. I do know 18 minutes ago or less than that, I got really excited when Brown said, we got the coaches poll.
Oh, your face. Coaches poll is whatever. All right, the country music industry has 18 award shows. What is the worst one?
I don't know.
Okay.
To me, the coaches poll is Burger King, to the AP poll, McDonald's.
Wow.
Or it could be the MTV Music Awards.
Maybe. What is
there was a time I thought the MTV Music Awards was better than what would that be?
The Grammys? But you've got the Emmys and the Golden Globes. Is there one more? Or not the Emmys. You've got the Oscars and the Golden Globes.
The SAG Awards?
The SAG Awards. That's what the coaches poll is, the SAG Awards. Did you win an Oscar? Did you want to go I want a SAG Award?
Don't the actors appreciate that more than...
No. They all want the Oscar, don't they?
Oh, they would much rather. The Oscar equates to a lot of money.
Yeah.
But holding that SAG Award, don't they really feel really good about that?
You think you think they'd rather win a Golden Globe or a SAG?
They would rather win a Golden Globe.
Okay. Yeah. So the SAG's at least third.
Do actors?
I'm trying to figure
for sure.
It's
too.
Oscar.
Huh?
Golden Globes are a joke too. That's just the Hollywood press that nominates those awards and votes on them.
It is, but I'm saying it's a bigger resume maker than a SAG Award.
Oh, it's a bigger resume maker, but it's just being chosen by journalists.
Actors from AI. Actors generally value the SAG Award more than the Golden Globe because it's voted on by their peers in the union rather than the small group of journalists in the Hollywood press.
There you go. So then I guess the coaches poll is the Golden Globes.
Like the AI knows that.
Somebody's told it that.
I mean, would you rather someone you know and respect a lot to vote and say that you did a good job, or some journalist?
Somebody
really
I work with.
doesn't know
The actors
the craft, what goes into your craft.
Some of the most insecure bunch out there, but I'm just saying what would equate to getting bigger roles from studios would be winning a Golden Globe.
Oh yeah,
it's more
because,
exposure.
If the press is voting for you, then that signals strong box office presence.
It says that the actors value the SAG because it's their peers, but also it's an indicator on who can win the Oscar because a large part of the voting academy also votes for the SAG Awards.
Yep, the academy is made up of former directors and actors, former Oscar winners. So it's a better judge of talent.
I did find the list of coaches, by the way, and for those that are wondering, Kalen DeBoer does have a vote, as does Alex Golish, as does Jacksonville State head coach Charles Kelly. So maybe that's where
I doubt Charles Kelly did.
You don't think Charles did? Rich Rod does. Yeah.
That's your guy.
I think he nailed it with Rich Rod there. And Rich Rod will admit that.
Probably if asked.
If asked, he'll admit that. Interesting there. The coaches poll is out. Trash still to come. The show being brought to you today by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. They've gone what you should be. This should be the sign that pops up on our screen every day. We've gone 7 days now without Hemp Hill going to LT's house.
It's like days without accidents on the workplace.
8 days, and then Hemp Hill comes back out. It's back to zero.
Flip it
I
every
got to
day.
tell you, man, Hunter was able to come out, immediately identify the problem, condensation problem, knew exactly what it was. It was cleared up within a couple of hours. I mean,
I thought I identified it on the air. Not to take anything away from Connor.
I don't remember that, but
also you're not actually a trained technician.
205 though, 229-2090, the number you need to call. The number Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for any plumbing, heating, cooling, whether those issues arise in your home or business. They are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Back in a moment on the next round, we'll get to trash right here on TNR.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
When a motorcycle accident turns your world upside down, who's going to look out for your family while you're healing? Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys is here for you, fighting for injured riders and getting families the compensation they deserve. The consultation is free. They don't get paid until you do. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law. Don't wait. Call 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical office, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
I was just telling Brownie I'm always excited when people are remember something from the show. And my line that maybe got covered up in the conversation yesterday when Roman was saying his camp eyes started where the lunchroom ladies are starting to look good. And I said, I always pictured you as a fishnet guy, not a hairnet guy.
It's a good one.
And I've had three people reach out on DM and then a couple of people out in the wild mentioning that. And I was like, I really didn't think anybody heard it. I thought everybody was talking over it. And I was like, I literally drove home thinking, that was such a good line, I thought, and nobody heard it.
By the way, Dunaway would rather win a SAG. Yeah, Tyler.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, your peers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I've won a couple of regional Emmys and Alabama Broadcasters Association awards and the Sportscasters of America Awards. So those are technically my SAGs.
That's right. That is true. That's the equivalent of a SAG for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, before we get to trash, Lance, I'm going to tell everybody about Champy's, and then we'll hit the big button and get to trash. I don't know why you take these swings at me, man. You knock me off my game here. Dunaway would love to win I'd take a Golden Globe too.
I'm just saying you're bringing up a line from yesterday.
Yeah,
I'm getting DMs on this.
We were talking about several things in the commercial break, and I was afraid the mic had caught the conversation. I like to keep people informed. It's an old Rush Limbaugh trick, by the way, to be talking about something as it come back from commercial.
So would he do a hot mic on purpose?
Oh, yeah.
It
used to do that.
It was a trick. It was
Oh,
a
wait
Rush-
a minute. We're back. We're back. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Shock. You listen to Rush?
Oh, yeah, back in the day, absolutely. It was tremendous. He talked about meaningful things.
He was a mover and a shaker. He used to have a TV show. You remember his TV show?
Yep.
It was late night.
I remember when he worked for ESPN.
Oh, I do remember that, too. That was probably the lowest moment for Raj.
Yeah, that's not a high point.
Yeah.
The show is being brought to you today by our friends at Champy's right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster, champyschicken.com, where you can get Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, in-house made sides, in-house made desserts, and some specialty cocktails that Morgan will throw together. Sometimes she makes them up on the fly,
Megan.
especially for Tyler.
Megan.
What did I say?
Morgan.
Megan. Morgan's in Kentucky. Megan's in Alabaster.
That's right.
Right there on Highway 119, champyschchicken.com. 25 days away from tailgating again, and Champy's will help you with that too. champyschchicken.com. Let's do trash. Tyler, hit it, man.
Delicious looking dick from sorry about that. Delicious looking dish from Rick there. Pork, yeah.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our friends from Bud Light. We start first. Medical science continues to push the boundaries of what's possible, like one plastic surgeon who grew a nose on a man's forehead to perform an extremely rare reconstruction. I mean, this is almost a unicorn.
Yeah, but what he did, he's going to reconstruct his nose with what he grew on the forehead. That's pretty amazing.
That is. So he's going to cut that and just turn it down. See how it's got it kind of the anchor at the top. So he's just going to flip it down.
Now, I would
and
tell you,
then attach
I would want to be hibernated this entire time, though.
Yeah, boy.
Now, new and exciting science challenges, always impressive. This operation saw an Iraqi plastic surgeon perform an exceptionally rare nasal reconstruction after a worker lost around 99% of his nose. Do you guys want to guess how he lost 99% of his nose?
It's a worker. I'm going to say he cut it off.
I'm going to say he worked in an acid plant.
Got in an argument over a pimento cheese sandwich and another worker bit it off. I'm kidding. He lost 99% of his nose in a high voltage electrical accident.
Yikes.
Now, however, rather than attempting a conventional reconstruction, the surgical team used technique that temporarily created the patient's new nose on his forehead before it could be transplanted onto his face.
That hurts.
Yeah.
We used to have a thing until 2 nights ago in our kitchen called the mandolin, where you could take like a sweet potato to make chips.
Oh, really? And it would slice it
like
thinly?
this,
Yeah.
do thin slices. It's called the mandolin.
I'm going to assume it's not. You said you used to.
Yeah, as Maggie was starting to use it, I didn't know we had this. What is that? Because I always have to cut them up with a knife. She goes, "Oh, it's a mandolin." And she started to do it. And I'm like, "Babe, that's got no safeguard on it. You don't need to be using that." And about 4 strokes later, boom.
As soon as you brought it up, she cuts her finger, huh?
Top 2 tips of these fingers right there.
What is going to happen to Scooble tonight?
I mean, seriously.
We need to have like a priest investigate this. You
Did
need to be like
well, it
blessed
involved
and
the minister.
cleansed or something.
The pain that it didn't hit her instantly, obviously, but she knew she did it.
Oh.
And then the blood.
Oh.
And but luckily it was just barely the thin slice.
So you
did you
threw
throw
it.
it
You
out?
pick it up and threw it out, didn't you? Or did she do it?
Oh, the mandolin. I in anger.
Oh,
broke
I
it.
know.
Yeah.
I know you did. You broke
Yeah,
it. So
in all honesty, all I did was hit it on the cart tire. I didn't hit the car. I hit the cart tire with it.
You just hit the handle of the mandolin.
But I was like, we got to go to the ER. And she's like, no, it's not bad enough. So we put new skin on it, and it's going okay.
Well, how did you put new skin on it?
The new skin. It's a
device.
It's not new skin.
So for $10 million a year, you got to have the nose on your forehead. Would you do it?
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that.
I mean, the problem is you can't wear a hat.
Yeah, I know.
I would get 2 so they'd look like horns, and people would stay away from them.
Yeah. By the way, I'll say it again. I've said it on the show before. I only had to see one nose rebuilt due to skin cancer, and I've seen 2. Wear your sunscreen when you're playing golf.
So
or at the
do you
beach
put
or
it
at
on
the pool.
every time?
Every time.
Yeah, I worry about it.
I mean, I sunscreen my nose up every single time. And look how much sun it's still gotten.
Yep.
I mean, that should tell you a lot, right? I put sunscreen on every time I play golf on my nose. And look how much sun it's still gotten over the summer.
Yeah. That's a lot of nose.
I'll let that one breathe for a second.
I try to get. I mean,
you know
I got
what they say, big nose.
They do say that.
Okay,
they really do. I look at Milton Berle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never looked at Milton.
You never went to the
I
bathroom.
mean,
never went to the bathroom with Milton.
Adrian Brody must be John Holmes. I don't know if you've seen that kid.
I try to get long bills to cover up my long nose.
I've considered Lance will make fun of me endlessly if I do it, but I've considered going to the bucket hat. Just to cover everything.
Yeah. Well,
it's not. I mean, it's not a fashionable look. I'm not saying it is, but
how many times does he play golf with you?
never. So yeah. He's just.
Well,
you wear a
got
bucket
that
hat?
new hat you bought for the calendar. Can we see the calendar shots again, Forrester?
Why?
Well, I mean, because you've got this new
Well,
hat.
that's a straw. It looks like I'm a migrant worker or a surfer dude or something. I'm not wear that on the golf course.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's the difference in that and a bucket hat?
Oh, the bucket hat is cloth and doesn't have a strap below my neck.
That
I am
does
not
look
wearing
like
that.
you pick rice in that.
I told you.
Doesn't Nick Saban golf in the hat?
He
like
does
that?
in a straw hat. I'm
Forrester,
not,
the other one, the July.
I'm not a fan of the look. Why do you want to look at the July? I'm
I
not
just
wearing
want
a
to
hat
see
in
it
that
one more time.
Okay.
You cannot spell Independence Day without AI, can you?
Huh? What?
You can't spell Independence Day
technically,
without
you
AI.
cannot spell Independence Day without AI.
Yeah, I guess not.
With the letters.
Yeah, you can actually not spell Independence Day with AI, right? I understand what he's saying. He's saying that is so AI. He doesn't believe Brown's arms, but specifically his flank looks like that.
I mean, that is not Brown's body.
100% it is.
You
Jennifer
think
took the photo.
You think he trimmed up the obliques with AI there?
No, he did not. I don't even know. All I did literally was take the photo in front of a green screen and went to Photoshop and photoshopped in
the body,
the Statue of Liberty and all behind it. That's all I did.
Brown, if I was doing a shirtless photo shoot, that when the first one come back, the second one I was like, looks fine. Can you trim up my love handles a little bit and make them look a little firmer? And it would do it for me.
On what? On Photoshop?
On AI. AI would do that.
I don't.
I mean, Dunaway, you've done filters on your Instagram, haven't you?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, everybody.
So you
does.
own those?
Everybody
that pair of overalls?
has.
Yes, I own that pair of overalls.
How about the cape?
Cool.
I own the cape.
All right.
I ordered it off Amazon.
Just around the table, does anybody think there's AI involved here?
There is on the background, 100%. Yeah, 100% there is on the background.
Yeah. I'm looking forward. I would only say for the expense of what you're doing for the calendar, the Brown Bandit may have some of these themes coming up during the season.
Could.
I mean, football he's got.
If
October.
Army Navy game. I may come back in the United States.
Flag.
Yeah, I've got a flag and I've got a.
If Rice is playing, apparently you'll have a hat.
I will say I don't know what he used for AI, but AI may digitally enhance photos unintentionally sometimes.
No, that could happen. Now,
if it did happen, and
I can't argue.
Well, Brown, you've got a damn mirror at home. Does that look like your body or not look like your body?
I don't have any more because I deleted them off my phone, but I've got the dang pictures. I could show you.
The hand by the 6 looks like it has a 6th finger.
Zoom in on
Pull it back up.
Oh,
shit.
No, I mean, now what Brooks said could be true. I will not deny that.
But I'm not saying that means you tried to trim up the body.
What would I be doing, trimming up my hand?
Yeah, like that's.
Well, we got a problem if these computers are just doing it on their own.
No, now Brooks could be right about that. I can't see that far. It looks like I've got a 6th finger.
Yeah, it looks like you got an extra finger.
So you know what to say, Brown.
I'll
6
have to
fingers.
experiment with this after the show. Like, if you could just drop a photo in, and it may just like automatically touch up some stuff to make it look better.
Jim, you're the closest to the screen. Does it look like I have a 6th finger?
I do not see. I got 1, 2, 3,
on the left hand, I'm
4,
counting 5.
5. You got 5 in the
You
left.
can't tell on the right.
Yeah, I do not see a 6th finger.
Tyler is.
I'm the one who put the calendar together, so I did not see
1,
a 6th
2,
Because I
3,
can see
4.
a thumb, 3 fingers, and then what looks to be a ring finger. So either the ring finger got moved to the
I do see it
pinky,
now.
or there's an extra finger behind
Yeah,
there.
and the thumb doesn't look real.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the AI like smooths everything out. Like when I'll make thumbnails with Kalen DeBoer.
No, the
he
thumb
ends
looks
up,
more like a
totally
toe.
baby face.
Now listen to what he's saying. So say that again. What now?
If I make like an AI thumbnail for TNR clips, or Scott makes one for the live show, sometimes I'll throw in like Kalen DeBoer, and it'll smooth out his face, and I have to go back and re-edit several times before it gets it more accurate.
You're saying it does it without you even telling it to do it. AI just does that.
Oh, I tell it, do not make any other edits without my approval, and it'll do it anyway.
His watch has 2 watch faces.
Oh, yeah.
One on the bottom and the top.
How did I notice the fingers but not that?
What time is it? Oh, Eastern
time
or
is it?
Central? Eastern or Central?
So this is all doing stuff that Ryan didn't even know about.
That is correct.
Yes, so he says. Your nose looks really
smaller
nice.
or bigger?
Yes. Nice. It just looks nice.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, next month, put a nose on your forehead.
Oh, yeah, back to
try
that
to avoid
second
that,
story here. Deputies responded to a call July 25th after a boat owner discovered someone had broken into the cabin of a vessel anchored behind the owner's home dressed as Superman. Now, several power tools were stolen. Sheriff's office said investigators reported 57-year-old James Tidwell is the suspect. Body camera video released by the agency shows deputies questioning Tidwell as he stands outside wearing Superman shirt, red cape, and matching costume.
Listen, I got the same call you guys did. I'm here to help you. I'm defending Gotham like you guys are.
Superman's from Metropolis.
Metropolis, yeah. Don't get the comic book nerds stirred up. Wow.
Okay, so Tyler, tell me if it is against proper etiquette to ask somebody about a tattoo.
I wouldn't say it's against etiquette. It's annoying at points.
Okay, well, the only reason I say is me and my daughter were eating. We were sitting at the bar of a restaurant last night. Our server had a ram tattoo on the back of her back of her bicep.
That set you right off, didn't it?
L.A. Ram?
No. It was
a generic Aries Zodiac Ram.
It was more, could have been Aries, could have been satanic. I don't know exactly. But, my daughter was like, are you going to ask her if it's got anything to do with the Rams? And I was like, it is interesting why she's got a ram on her arm, but I assumed it was Zodiac. But I didn't ask her.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like against etiquette. It does get annoying after a while if people are asking like what each one means. It's like, well, some of them I just thought it was sick.
Is the most common question after asking about a tattoo, did it hurt?
Did it hurt? Yeah. No, it didn't. It was a needle moving at very fast speeds across my skin.
Some say it feels good.
Yeah, some people do.
I mean, some people like the Earl boy from S-Town. That's why he liked it, right?
Oh yeah, I bet Max Crosby. I don't know if you noticed him yesterday on NFL Network. He was sitting there with the guys and he had his shirt off, and it looked like he had a full shirt on because, I mean, he's got so much going on all over him. But he seems like, one of those guys that would like the needle. Sounds like something out of a cartoon. New Jersey police officer disguised himself as a bush to catch motorists using their phones behind the wheel, helping issue 74 citations in just 6 hours. Now, the police department carried out the unusual distracted driving crackdown on Wednesday, July 29th. Photos shared by the department showed an officer wearing a leafy
ghillie suit? Is that what this is called? Ghillie suit?
Ghillie suit.
This is what Tyler says he's going to wear to the golf course and fire off the air horn.
Hey, by the way, this is a brilliant way to catch people, 100%.
Is this not entrapment?
I don't see it as entrapment. Entrapment would be they bait you into speeding and then give you a ticket.
Yeah, I thought entrapment was like the cop telling you, like, this is legal, and then you do it, and then they say,
pop you for it. Yeah.
you're busted.
I wouldn't call it entrapment. I would call it
undercover work.
That's definitely undercover. I'm not sure I would call it.
Yeah, Brooks makes a good point. He says it's no different than like a cop, like often on the side of the road by the woods trying to catch people
I hate
speeding.
that.
Yeah, it's really sneaky.
I'll tell you what's changed that game is Waze. Waze will help you avoid those.
I never use Waze.
Oh, Waze I use Waze every single day of my life.
Is it pretty accurate as far as giving you the law enforcement heads up?
Yeah, people will put it in there and mark that there's a speed trap ahead.
Especially in high traffic areas. Now, if you're out on a country road and fewer people are passing, because it's the way it's done is people pass and report.
Yeah.
I will use it. I know the way to Bent Brook where I'm going
Doesn't
today. I will use it from here to Bent Brook
because it will tell
for
you.
that reason.
It will tell you like if there's a wreck and you avoid it. No, Waze. I use Waze every single time I get my car.
Do y'all contribute? Like, I finally gave money to Wikipedia.
I don't.
Okay. To Wikipedia or to Waze?
Either one.
Yeah, really. I
Either
cannot
one.
believe you did that.
I just threw him a couple of bucks.
I know.
They finally got somebody?
Yeah.
You might be the first person I've ever heard of doing
Me
that.
too. We used to make fun of it on the air. Les used to kill the guy.
I threw him a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, like I
use it all the
Yeah,
time.
they're like,
I don't use the robot
"We
as
got
much
one.
anymore.
We got one."
I'm out because I did about that horrible Tampa Bay on TikTok shop,
Right.
that Tampa Bay thing. The other day on Instagram, it was 2 months ago. I have a hard time at my age seeing my white balls in golf.
bet you do.
Out on the green. So these glasses, these sunglasses,
I've seen these
for $19. I could see the golf ball better. So I ordered them off of Instagram Shot.
Was it next to the sea monkeys?
It
In the X-ray glasses.
took a month to get here.
Yeah.
A month to get here, and then I put them on. Not only can I not see the balls better, I can't see out of them at all. And as Maggie points out, she's like, it doesn't. There's no packaging. There's no instructions. She's like, there's not a chance in hell that they're UV protected. She goes, you're gonna put those sunglasses on. You're gonna burn your retina. Throw those things.
You know
away.
what you ought to do is shred cheese with a mandolin with those things on.
Yeah, she was saying those two things are gonna burn your eyes.
So am I the only person that's ever
Yes.
given any money
Yes.
to Wikipedia?
Not just the only person
they
on this
ask
show.
all the time.
Not the only.
Lance, I'm putting on a poll question. I got to see what our audience says.
Not the only person on the show. The only person in the world.
Okay.
You're the first. You're the first
that's
donation ever.
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it. I would be shocked if I'm the only.
I mean, I'm flabbergasted.
Yeah.
I'm at a total loss.
How
for
much
words.
did you give?
I don't know, $5, $10, not much.
Yeah.
I mean,
that'll keep them afloat.
Yeah. Well, I was just asking, do you guys contribute to Waves if you're using it?
I do
all the
contribute to
time?
Waze. I'll hit where there's a cop or.
I remember us driving to Dallas and Brown, and I think somebody else in the car, maybe it was Forrester, bragging about their
Waze score.
points.
Yeah, Waze points.
And I
Good
didn't
chance
know,
it was me.
Yeah,
I
Scott's got a lot of Waze points.
I did not.
I am an avid Wazer.
I did not know that existed, so I have not checked my Waze points, but I don't ever contribute.
Yeah,
Hey, LT.
I hit still there. Is that contributing?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay,
contributing.
I'll
Yeah,
hit
that
still
helps
there.
your Waze points.
I hit
Yeah.
still there. Yeah.
What message came up after you made the donation? Did it say, sucker?
No, I mean, I think my credit card got flooded by a bunch of illegal charges.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah. Is there a chance right now you are selling crypto on Facebook?
Possibly. Now, this was a couple of months ago, so there hasn't been any fallout.
you
Hey,
selling crypto
Wikipedia
on
is still
Facebook?
going, by the
I mean,
way.
they freaking beg enough for it every page you go to.
Unidentified flying objects, mysterious sightings have long been a hot topic, but they rarely lead to any definitive answers, be it official footage released by the Pentagon where U.S. Navy jets intercept UFOs flying dangerously fast over the sea, or rumors about UFO sightings. A new report has emerged from the UK where a commercial airline pilot says he spotted an unidentified object making his final approach to London's Gatwick Airport in April. Now, the object reportedly passed within 100 to 300 feet of Airbus A319, prompting safety concerns over how close the encounter came to a potentially dangerous mid-air collision. Now, according to The Sun, the pilot of the airline reported seeing a flying saucer near the aircraft as it was about to land, while the crew of the plane told investigators that they had seen a drone, and since it was so close, they could see its propellers and markings.
So
you
this
guys
is.
think more UFO or more drone?
I'm gonna go more
I'm
drone.
gonna bet on more drone. I'm gonna hope for more drone.
Not the actual photo, right, Tyler? This is just
No, this is an
artist
artistic
rendering. Yeah.
I mean, they look friendly.
Yeah, they're waving.
They
Got a
are
sign.
waving. They look too friendly, in fact.
Yeah.
Looks like Christian Bale and the Machinist.
That is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Don't forget, their new Next Reels is out with Lance and Tyler and Brown making a special appearance there as well. We've got a new OG kickoff. Conor O'Gara show comes back on Friday. Mick and Jake doing their usual work as well here on the platform. And always, our 40 and 40 continues. You can see that and a lot more on our social platforms that Brooke and Forster work on daily. Right there at Next Round Live. Like and subscribe and follow everywhere. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.